Alright everybody, you guys voted for laser chicken. Let's get some laser chicken done. I'm going to be looking for heroic and for normal groups, so if I find anything that's heroic, I'll also go ahead and jump into that. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, let me know. I mean, here's a heroic one. You guys wanted to see the laser chicken, so let's get it done. Let's see if there's any heroic groups starting to form up. It's a brand new group, we can do that. Right now it seems to be that heroic groups are okay up until about Desolate Host. Desolate Host is when PUG heroic group seems to start collapsing, but we can get it done till about there. Also, in case you guys are interested in my talent points as a boomkin, there they are. Thunder chicken time. You guys wanted to see it? You guys wanted to see the laser chicken? I put the vote up on my Twitter and for my patrons. What's up, Brittany? Welcome, welcome. I put the vote up, and the large majority of you guys voted. It was a very, very close between this and doing Mythic plus 10 tanking. At a barfkin. There's nothing wrong with boomkins. A fresh heroic TOS. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, if you guys want to see my talents, there they are. That's what I run normally. If there's a really big like ad heavy fight, I'll run shooting stars. No, not shooting stars, I'm sorry. I'll run Soul of the Forest instead of Incarnation. What's up, Milton and Snubsy? If I have eyes, there's something wrong with them. I do need glasses, so there's that, Brittany. I do have that going for me. So my vision is messed up. Too many years of playing video games. I blame it all on playing way too much Game Boy Color back in the day, since it didn't have a backlit screen. It's just it did terrible things to my vision. And yeah, everybody had a chance to vote, so we're gonna get some laser chicken. I also, here's the thing, I really like boomkin form, so that's why I don't use the druid glyph where I just stay in my regular form. To me, a boomkin is a boomkin. It's not a balanced druid. If you're not in boomkin form, you're just a balanced druid. You're not a boomkin. And I really do like the boomkin form. One-armed gummy bear avatar. Yeah, I had one of those little lights that you could have on the side too, but it was always in the way of you playing whatever it was that you were playing, and it also drained your battery a lot faster, which was all very bad things. No, Milton, you can't hear any audio? Uh-oh. Milton got the banhammer on himself. Don't worry about it, Brittany. Alright, so we're in here. This is heroic. There's already dead corpses on the ground on heroic Goroth, so we'll try it once with this group just because of the dead corpses. If not, we'll jump somewhere else. Yeah, but because of these corpses, we'll give it one shot. But after that, I don't wanna spend too much time on Goroth. Like if we can't get Goroth down, I'll try to find something else. What's up, Max? Max, you like my chicken? You like my little laser chicken here? It's got a guitar on its back and everything. That. To be fair, the transmog is decent that I have, but as a chicken form, you can't really see much with it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this group for one pull. We're off to a really good start. The raid leader is already cursing everyone out. It's the sentence started with, "Okay, listen the fuck up. This is a fast clear." And wow. Yep, we got the boom chicken out today. Getting the big guns out. So my boomkin isn't the best geared, 914 equipped. However, yesterday I finally completed my 4 set. So I have my 4 set. I have my raid finder best in slot trinket. The big thing that's really bad on my druid is my legendaries. I just have a Pridas and a really bad ring. So still fishing for better legendaries. We'll see how that goes. Brittany's already taken out on everyone with her banhammer. Oh man. What's up, Pac-Man? Raid leader is putting on the daddy pants for sure. We just need one more summon and then we're good to go. If anyone helps me summon, we'd be good to go. Come on. Help the chicken. Help the chicken. Anyone? No? No one? You can't hear the music, Milton? It's a lot lower today than it was last time. Last time I think you guys were saying that it was too loud, so I did turn it down. For now, yeah. I've been looking at other playlists. I need to filter through them though. No, don't make me get a glyph. I really do like a boomkin form. Boomkin form is really fun. I mean, look at this. Okay, let's see. Where is it? I know I don't have it on my bars. Look at this. Look at how majestic this is. What are you guys talking about? This is amazing. Oh yeah, Max. Last week was crazy for healers for sure. Last week was a very bad week for you to be a healer. You only played druid specs where you can see your transmog. So healer and boomkin with the glitch, and that's it. No bears, no cats. Don't put the chicken down. Don't do it. Everybody's here. I think they're all getting on Discord with each other. I don't want to jump into Discord right now. At least not for this boss. I don't see the need for it. If you're not on Discord, by the way, make sure you see if everyone's hitting yes or no. Pro tip for pugs. Because they'll say everybody that's on Discord hit no. So just let a few people go first to see what the majority trend line is. And then just join them. Chickens aren't supposed to fly? Look, chickens are tough creatures. In case you guys never played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, chickens are like the final raid boss of everything. Just so you guys know. Alright, so let's get our chicken DPS going. Let's start rolling it out here. And again, since we can DPS from behind the pillars, they don't cause LOS for us. We can just go ahead and hang out there, as long as we don't have the debuff. Also, I'm not the best Boomkin. Oh, the big difference between normal and heroic is all of that fire you guys see on the ground. It covers 1/4 of the room. So if you guys are doing heroic mode, just be careful of where that comes out. It only comes out in one area at a time. So if you guys see this, then the pillars in that area are going to die and you're going to be taking a lot of damage. And the way to see what area that's coming out from, you see this is kind of like boiling up. That's where it's coming out of. So be very, very careful. So that's really the only difference between normal and heroic. Everything else is exactly the same. You want to drop your pillars in all 4 sections of the room, because if you keep it to one section of the room, basically you're going to have the fire eliminate all of that. So right now we'll have another section boil up, which is the section I'm in. I can just go ahead and take that, that's fine. And so now that the fire's starting over here, energy's getting a little high, I'm going to start moving on over to these pillars so I can hide behind them when the infernal burning goes off. So it's going off right now. Again, just hide behind a pillar, and that's really it. This fight doesn't change a lot when it comes to normal and heroic. You just have to make sure you spread out a little bit more. So now that we have a few pillars over on this quarter, I'm going to go ahead and just hide in this one here. So you just have to space yourself out a little bit better, being mindful of where you are on heroic, and that's really it. Uh-oh, I think a lot of our tanks went down or something. I almost... Oh man. Alright, let me heal myself up a little bit. Get those Boomkin heals going. We are going to have Infernal Burning in a little bit right here. Also, the weak auras will be coming out very, very soon for you guys. I'm working on 2 more of them. Demonic Inquisition fight seems to switch between who's labeled as Boss 1 and who's labeled as Boss 2 all the time. So it's hard for me to get that weak aura going, and then I just need to test a little bit more on Kill Jaden, and after that I'll release them to you guys. For the patrons in here that do have the exclusive stuff, I gave you guys access to the weak auras I have right now, with that stipulation that the Kill Jaden one isn't 100% and the Demonic Inquisition one is also not 100%. So there's that. I will be releasing that later this week. Audio works on desktop but not on mobile. Huh. Alright, so since the fire is coming from this area and the Infernal Burning is going to be up soon, I manage what area I'm in. I know that this area will be safe, so I'm just going to go ahead and move here. A lot of our DPS is down. I don't think it's a wipe. Alright, so now the fire is coming from exactly where I'm at. So I'll go ahead and move again. There's really low DPS going on here. So always make sure that when you have that comet on you, you are not standing inside of any spikes, because that will make the comet that lands on you will make all of the spikes kind of shatter around you. And that's not a strategy you need until Mythic mode, actually. Alright, so now basically one of the softened rages for this fight is the fact that the longer you take to beat this boss, the more fire he'll start spawning. So now he's spawning fire in half of the room. So you guys see that there's more and more coming out. If this pillar we're standing on gets destroyed, yeah, it didn't get destroyed before the Infernal Burning went off, but that is a very, very, very valid possibility that can happen. So at this point, we're just fighting against the clock, trying to do more DPS. And you guys see that the fire is just alternating a lot faster. It's starting to bubble up exactly where I'm at right now, so I do have to be very, very careful. It's just starting to take out pillars at a faster rate, which means that maybe this next Infernal Burning will be fatal to us if we're not careful. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we did manage to get the kill. Which is good, but the damage is a little low. We'll give it a shot by going to Demonic Inquisition. I'll stick with the group until we get a wipe going. That didn't look that great. I'll say this. I don't have the best legendaries or the best trinkets on my Boomkin, so me being top of the charts is worrisome. That really is worrisome to me. Yeah, the bot is on for the stream, by the way. You guys can check it. And yeah, Mad Max, I've done heroic pugs successfully up until Sisters. So everything else I haven't been able to get down in heroic pugs, but I've been able to get up to Sisters down. Which actually, whenever I can, I get Sisters down on my Boomkin because that's where my best in slot trinket comes from. So I use the large majority of my bonus rolls on Sisters. Like last week, I did heroic Sisters maybe like 4 or 5 times. But I'm just trying to gear out all of my tunes. What's up, STL? How's it going? And yeah, Brittany, that was a lot of people down. I agree. The thing is, the only mechanic that really changes is the floor on fire. But that can be enough for people to die. You guys are gonna need to screenshot this seriously, because I don't normally top any of the meters. My DPS is not that great. It brings all of them, STL. All of them. Even Khadgar shows up. I agree, Brittany. I think that one should be relatively easy, but since we had like 4 or 5 people that went down, what was the average DPS? Yeah, we had a few 500s. That's probably the tank. Yeah, a few 500 DPS, 500Ks, which is gonna make heroic just that much more tough. We'll see how this boss goes. This boss is less forgiving. So basically, in heroic mode for this boss, each one of these 2 guys, they get an extra ability. So everything is the same as heroic, except Belak every now and then will target ranged people and will drop a purple puddle underneath them. You need to move out of that. Also, don't drop the purple puddles near the beginning, because when people jump out of the jail, they'll land in the puddles. And then Atrigan, what he'll get is he'll target a random person in the raid and throw out a frontal cleave that's just a bunch of spikes at them. And this frontal cleave can target anyone. So if Atrigan is over here on the left hand side and he targets someone that's way over here, you better believe that cleave is going to cross the whole room. So if Atrigan targets you with that cleave called calcified quills, I believe, you need to run out into one of the edges of the room so that nobody else gets hit. You need to be on it and kite that away. Those are the 2 big differences. Everything else just it's a little bit harder, but mechanics, that's it. Why am I getting summoned? I'm right here. What's going on here? Who are we summoning? Brittany, so it depends on what your class is too. As a druid, if I go cat form and I'm running while it's casting, I can actually even dodge the quills that are meant for me. So if you have a good sprint button or a blink or anything like that, you can dodge the quills even as they're meant to hit you. So if you run to the edge fast enough, you can actually outrun the quills. But yeah, there's a lot of times where those quills just mess people up. Also, as ranged, you don't want to stack up together, because if they drop a purple puddle on me and on this person next to me, we're gonna drop two of them basically stacked up, and we're gonna take twice the damage. And if we got low for whatever reason, if a pangs of guilt kind of hit us or something, that'll just finish us off. So you need to be very careful with that. They're trying to summon the best DPS. That's worrisome. That's worrisome, Milton. Although I'll tell you what, yesterday I finally started running simulations for my Boomkin. I hadn't done that before. So last night, in preparation for this, I actually did run that. I actually did start running simulations and calculating my DPS. And 2 times the torment, yeah. I'm glad it's working on mobile now. No, you missed the first boss, but that's it. I don't know how far this group is gonna be. The first boss was a little bit rough, so we might be joining another group very, very shortly. But Floppin', you haven't missed much at all. There's one person we still need to summon. For some reason they're in Blackroot Hold. We could probably pull the trash though. Yeah, I use Mr. Robot too, Brittany. But the thing is, simulations do not work for tanks. That's just, they just don't. You can do a few spreadsheets and you can kind of do it on a fight for fight basis, but overall, simulations don't really work for tanks right now. But for DPSers, it's a lot easier to simulate. Have I noticed that Shaman healers are not doing that well in Mythic Pluses? I don't get that many Shaman healers, and maybe that's the sign of that, right? I mainly get Druids and Monks as healers, so that kind of sucks. I know they announced the Mythic Plus tournament yesterday, so that kind of sucks that if they're underperforming, they probably won't be able to do that. If you guys haven't seen this, let me get you guys the link for this. If you guys haven't seen that, there's a Mythic Plus tournament starting on July 25th. So if you guys have a 5-man group within your dungeon, you guys can start competing on the 25th for that. So, they're explaining the fight to each other. Sorry for this. I see in chat that there's people trying to break down this. So starting July 25th, if you guys have a group of 5 people, you guys can start competing in the Mythic Plus tournament. And if you guys qualify by August, I forgot the exact date, by sometime in August, then you guys will get invited. I think it's the top 8 teams of each realm. So even though if you guys only do 5-man content, there's a tournament now for PvE players that do that 5-man content. Wordy, there's a lot of damage in this fight, but you have to know how to mitigate it. So Wordy, yeah, the fact that you're doing more healing also didn't help. But Wordy, what you should be doing is, you don't need to tank Bellac, so you don't need to be anywhere near him. When he casts Spell Squall, that's just going to do a lot of damage to you, so don't be anywhere near Bellac. So when you're near Atrigan, try to keep shield block up as much as you can, but always keep one charge ready for Fell Scythe. So the Fell Scythe ability is going to hit really hard, and what you want to do is guarantee block that. So when Fell Scythe is going out, you either want to use Neltharion's Lair, even though it's going to get cancelled, it'll guarantee a crit block, or you want to use one of your shield block charges. So that's the best way to avoid any of the damage. Also, you shouldn't be standing in Bone Storm. One thing that I've seen a few tanks do is take max Torment and then keep tanking the bosses. If you're at max Torment, you can't tank a boss. If you're at max Torment, that boss is just going to deal so much damage to you, you're guaranteed dead. So be careful with that. If your Torment starts getting a little bit higher, talk to your other tank and move out of there. So the big advice is to try to block Fell Scythe. If you don't have a block up, use Demoralizing Shout, use Neltharion's Fury, use something to kind of mitigate that damage. That's the big damage ability. And also never be inside of the Bone Saw. If you're anywhere near him when he gets full energy, just heroic leap away. There's nothing else you can do. And don't attack him when he's in Bone Saw. Don't use thrown weapon, don't use anything. No, yes, Fury, not Lair. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I meant. Sorry. You got the Rage Tower to 7%? Oh, man. And yes, Heroic Leap is the ultimate Bone Saw kite. Completely agree. Oh, no. Roll check to see who's on Discord. I didn't actually even check it. Yeah, the only thing that changes is Atrigan throws out Quills, and Belak is going to throw out puddles underneath people. Yeah, I haven't tried the Mage Tower in a while. Dakra, I wasn't planning on it, but if we get through a lot of content today with my Boomkin, I can. Last week I did exclusively only tanking, and then I put up a poll on my Twitter so that you guys could all vote to see what you guys wanted to see today, and Boomkin did win. Last week, the thing with last week too, we had the best pug of all time. Last week we just had a pug that went in and we one-shot everything except Kill Jaden. That was really, really good. That was really smooth. It was normal though, and we are trying to do heroic, so. A poll that I rigged for Boomkin. I voted for my Boomkin plenty of times in that poll. You guys like the terrible undead dude? That's a thing. I can make that happen. I didn't know there was so much support for the terrible undead dude. They're saying they're gonna boot everyone not on Discord. We'll see. What's up, Ninja? You've missed the first boss on Heroic. Right now, everybody's arguing Discord or no Discord right now in the raid chat. Undead chicken? Hey, Brittany, I think you're onto something. I wouldn't mind that being a glyph. Turning me into an undead chicken. That'd be pretty cool. Raid frame, the add-on for these raid frames, Cuban, is Grid 2. That's the add-on I'm using for raid frames. The unit frames here are all their Z Pro. It used to be X Pro, but Z Pro and Grid 2 for the unit frames. I mean for the raid frames. You'll continue to talk trash about it. Alright, we gotta get this pull going. Come on. Can't even give the poor alliance an ugly chicken. Yeah, I'd have to go back to my old realm and start leveling some of my alliance tombs. I've been considering leveling up a DK, so there's that, and I do have a DK already on alliance. Thank you, Cuban. I appreciate that. All right. This group is taking too long. I think after this pull, no matter what happens, I'll just go and find a new group. I'm carrying a bunch of trash from yesterday. You guys see this? They opened up new LFR stuff, so I was hoping for really good like Titan Forge rolls yesterday on LFR. At least I'm not a furry. No, no thank you. Not for me. DK's flavor of the week. It's true. It's true. Since they did get that buff up. Flopping. I've tried a lot of classes. Not every class endgame. The only class that I can say I've never, actually 2 classes I have not tried endgame are Hunter and Warlock. Besides that, I've tried the other classes endgame. Oh, I'm sorry, not Demon Hunter. I forgot that there's Demon Hunters. This group is suck. I'll give them one shot, Brittany. I'll give them one chance right here. If we can pull and kill Demonic Inquisition, we're okay. Did I ever try monk tanking? Yeah, when monks first came out, I did do monk tanking, but that was, you know, during MOP, and so I haven't touched monks since then. So they're probably different. I imagine with the whole active mitigation system that Legion brought in, everything is a lot different for every class. Your off tank has a 1-button macro that works for half of TOS. That's ridiculous. I'm an oldie in a retirement home. Yeah, in terms of internet years, that's the way it works out here on the internet. I don't. Yeah. They're being really strict about the whole Discord thing. So we'll find another group. I'm not gonna sit around and wait all day for that. Alright, let's find another group. Let's try to find another tomb heroic. They're at host. That's host is when things start going down. So I'll try to find something that's a little bit before host. Inquisition, but requiring Discord. Let's see how that goes. At Sisters. That's primarily what I would want to do. Is just Sisters. Too early to put heroic TOS? No, I've been able to pug everything up until Desolate Host. Desolate Host is where I wasn't able to get him down. But even then, actually, I found a group that was doing Maiden right after, and Maiden went down. You did a full mythic clear in the time they take the talk. It was ridiculous. I asked them, I was like, are we gonna pull anytime? They were like, as soon as everybody gets on Discord. There's 2 people missing. Okay. I think this is them. Let's not join them. And yeah, that group did take too long. Let's also just find a regular, normal group. $226. That's, man, they're really trying to push it there. Kill Jaden. Let's try to see if we can just jump right into Kill Jaden. Get him down. Why not? Oh, there's an overgeared speed run. Alright, let's go to normal Kill Jaden. You guys will see some of the Kill Jaden weak auras. I'm trying to fix some of them, so hopefully they work today. I did do a few changes to them yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what that group was doing. It just jumped out. Your gear when you should try to heal normal TOS. So TOS starts dropping 900 item level gear. Uh-oh, I see the skellies. So since TOS starts dropping 900 item level gear, I would suggest when you run in, you're probably 880, 890 minimum. I would suggest 890 if you can. 880 seems like you're gonna have trouble after, probably after Harjatan, you're gonna start running into trouble. So my suggestion would be 890 if you can, so that you're still getting upgrades, but you won't be able to clear all of TOS. So if you walk in as 890, you will for sure not be able to kill Jaden. So just keep that in mind. You can do the first few bosses. $910 for a tank. For a tank, let me see. You'll be okay as a tank for the first boss. Demonic Inquisition hits a little bit harder. I think the ones that some tanks will have problems with are Demonic Inquisition, Desolate Host, and Maiden might make a few tanks mess up if they're not on it with mechanics, because you have a few of those times where on Maiden you get the infusion, so you swap out what power you are, and then immediately after that there's a light hammer that comes out. So you might switch over to holy energy and have to do a taunt off while running into position, and there's some people that just aren't used to that mechanically. Flopping, yeah, for sisters you can solo tank phase 1 and 2. If you tank right on the edge of the moon, you can solo tank phase 1 and 2. Phase 3 with the magic debuff is when it gets a little bit worse. It's only good thing about my warrior are his bones and his class mount. Oh man. Skellies are a sign of people not soaking. Yep. This fight has that whole thing where they hand out the fire debuff and the Armageddons at the same time, and you get people that move out of the Armageddon because the fires went out. And the thing is, they both look very similar. Like the fire, when it hits you, it creates this big splash AoE that looks similar to that of the Armageddon. So I can't fault people too much for it, but that is a really big thing that affects a lot of people here. It's going pretty good, Matt. It's going pretty good. I mean, we're one boss in. It's going a lot slower than last week, but I remember back when I used to pug Nighthold in the very beginning. This is about the pace of things. Yeah, Max. It's a lot easier for casual guilds to farm normal every week to gear up, and then farm heroic a lot easier. It's just, that's just the way it goes. Let's start a hardcore guild. Why would they take your TOV gear off the transmog list? Sucks. Just a 20-man mythic group of all tanks. And every tank, actually every tank does have a little bit of self-healing they can do. So every tank we just rotate taunts and everybody heals themselves, keeps themselves up. It will be great. LFR, actually, what was it? There was the sisters fight in LFR is not that fun because a lot of people die to stuff. somebody snuck in. Who's Dot Matrix? Who is that? I did not find a one-shot group like last week. No, last week was really nice with that one-shot group. You guys have to pug DPS every week, Max? Well, Max, if you were Horde, I'd jump in there on my Boomkin. Oh, it used to be available at level 1? I didn't know that. I always thought you had to be the proper level to equip it. Like, if I ever wanted to equip any old vanilla gear, I needed to hit level 60 and stuff. I didn't know it was available at level 1. No Boomkins allowed? Oh, man. Yeah, we should have enough people with this, right? We are at 2-2-10. We need one more healer. 2-3-10 should be more than enough. Boomkins for life. Yep. The only other tune that I really want to have max level for this expansion is a mage, but I started leveling one up. I haven't gotten around to just maximizing that. So once we get one more healer, we'll be good to go. 2-2-10. Yeah, we need one more healer. Resto Druids here. Yeah, I haven't. I've healed a few fights for TOS, but not all of them. I healed Sisters because Tranquility just counters that heal absorption really well. And I want to say I've healed the first few, maybe like the first 3 bosses on Heroic. That's really it. I'm not a very good healer either. Can you Boomkin Affinity as Resto? Yeah, you can. you guys hate every single one of you guys hate every single one of my characters, whether it's Undead, whether it's Boomkin. Alright, so now that everybody's running in, we're at 2-3-10. We'll see how this goes. There's a few dead bodies on the ground, but hopefully it gets a little bit better. Let's get the last few summons in. Actually, they're here. They're not here. Let's get that summon and that one. What legendaries do I have for druids? Not good ones, Matt. I have Pridas, which is unfortunate that I'm wearing that as like part of my regular rotation, and then I got this guy last night, Impeccable Fell Essence. That's the only good legendary I have for throughput. The only other legendaries are where are they? I have Sinidaria, which is okay, but I have a really good, I have the best in slot belt right now, and then I have this guy. I mean, really, this guy? Ugh. No. You're right, Ninja. You're right. Everyone's just like, just shut up. Keep making guides. Ugh. You got the Wrestle Belt on your Druid? Man. That's nice. I really like Pridas for like Mythic Pluses, where sometimes there's like a tank that'll you know, move something around, you take a cleave, something like that. That's when I really like Pridas. But for something like Tomb of Sargeras, like this Kill Jaden fight, Pridas comes in handy during the Illidan phase, and then during the last phase when he's casting Darkness of 1,000 Souls. When you run into the rift itself, you take damage. But besides those two things, it's not the most useful thing. My helmet is absolutely like best in slot. So if I could get the legendary helmet and legendary bracers, those are the two. And then these bracers are terrible, the ones that I have. 890 crit verse, so they're like 2 of the wrong stats and low item level. But last night, actually, just by running LFR and getting 2 upgrades from LFR, I increased my sim DPS by over 100k. So I should be doing a little bit better now. Alright, let's see how this goes. Thanks, Ninja. Ninja, I love the support, man. Oh, Brittany, you're getting one of those tanks that just is like, no, I have boss. Yeah, whenever you tank with another tank that likes it to be a competition when they have aggro, the thing that really gets me is when another tank uses taunt so many times that the boss gets diminishing returns, and then you can't taunt when you're supposed to. The boss then becomes immune to taunt. It's like, this is the worst. I don't want to be here anymore. Alright, so we'll see how this goes. After the first Armageddon is when I'll use all my DPS cooldown. So for now, I'll just kind of stay where I am. And let's see. Alright, so we'll take this first Armageddon, and then I won't be able to take the next one. So DPS cooldowns, let's make this happen. Oh man, Kill Jaden. Whenever Kill Jaden turns around and looks at the raid, it's not good. As a tank, I know exactly how hard those spell claws hit. So whenever Kill Jaden turns around and looks at the raid, I'm like, oh no, not those spell claws. See, that was it. I took one of those spell claws, turned around, looked at the raid, slapped everybody in the face. Those spell claws are deadly. I don't want to mess with those. All right. So now we have the intermission phase. So what I'm going to do is rack up my astral power as much as I can. Let's go take another Armageddon. Alright, somebody's already in that. Oh, There it is. Okay. So I'll keep my dots on him just so that my debuff can keep being applied. I'm going to max out my astral power. We do have 1 death. So there's the person behind us. Everybody stand in a line. In heroic mode, you need to stand in a line but also spread out, because when that beam hits you, you actually explode for a small AoE. So you have to be careful with that. Let's do this Armageddon. Tank this. Alright, now that I have the debuff, and you guys see I do have like the debuffs going, so those are all part of the weak auras I'll be coming out with for you guys soon. You can take the normal Armageddon as anything, yeah. It's not the big Armageddon. If it was a big Armageddon, I for sure wouldn't be able to take it. Alright, let's just heal up a little bit. Alright, so let's keep this DPS train going. Let's keep doing the lasers. Alright, so again, if you are this like huge thing, you're gonna pop out with some ads. So make sure you stack on everyone. So exactly what everyone didn't do, that's what you should do. You should just stack up on everyone. Also, these ads do have priority, so try to get them down, because they do a lot of AoE damage. So yeah, you want to get those guys down. Alright, we have our DPS cooldowns again. And this is gonna hurt. I'm in 2 of them. Oh no! So there it is. Somebody missed the big Armageddon, which is why we took a ton of damage. And that's because of the fact that the Dread Flame drops right before. So you're trying to take this Armageddon, and then all of a sudden, you know, fire hits the ground, and then this guy's doing it all wrong. So you do want to split that beam. So what you want to do is run out of melee so that all of melee can stand in between you and the boss. If you run up to the boss, no one can stand in between you guys and you go down. So here we go. Here's another Armageddon. He has no more Fell Claws, so oh, alright. Seems like everybody's got it covered. And as soon as the ads get handed out again, we should stack up, which is going to happen in 10 seconds. Are you guys fighting again? Andre, I have not yet. So let's try to soak some of this. All right, so those are all being soaked. We're good to go. All right, let's just keep DPSing these ads. Alright, so I do have that Rupturing Dread Flame, so I want to run out of the group with that. Alright, so I can't DPS the boss from here, but this Armageddon needs to be soaked up. We're good to go. So even though we had an early death, we're still doing alright. And there it is. You want everybody to be in between you and the boss right here. At 40%, we do push him up to the Illidan phase. So we're getting close. I can't soak up this Armageddon. If you take 2 stacks as a DPSer, you can, but it's a lot of damage. So if you already have 1 stack of the debuff and we missed another one. So if you already have 1 stack of the debuff, you probably don't want to take the 2nd stack. Also with that Dread Flame, if you don't run out, it's just a ton of damage going out on you. Alright, I'm gonna stop and heal myself. This is getting a little out of hand. Yeah, that was way too much damage on me. It was one of the Dread Flame, one of the Armageddons that was missed, and the Dread Flame that was on me. The Armageddon that was on me. So 2 big debuffs that were on me. Didn't really help out. Paladins are a better class than anything I ever play. Max, I was strictly Paladin only for most of Vanilla, BC, all of BC, and a little bit of Wrath. Yeah, you can take the regular Armageddon as a Boomy. And Matt, did I get lucky with tier and LFR? Oh, yeah, I did with this one piece. So I got this 890 because it got Warforged. So I have gotten lucky with LFR. I got this, and then I got this trinket as best in slot for Boomkins. So I did get that as well. If I was playing a Pally again, you would be less harsh. I haven't played a Pally in years. I played a little bit of Pally during Wrath, and when they had the whole combo point system, that's when I was like, I don't think this class is for me anymore. Demon Hunters are diagnosed with ADD. Yeah, Demon Hunters, I don't know why it works out that way. Very, very all over the place. You think it was the hunter who missed it? I don't know why this guy's still running around. Just die. This guy needs to he just needs to jump off the ledge. There it is. We'll give this group another chance. It was mostly like brand new people, so we'll see. We got to Illidan phase, so I'm not upset about it. Because I'm a filthy undead warrior. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when there was all the PvP movies, all the Warcraft movies. There was one particular undead warrior that I always thought was, his movies were super cool. He was very, very good at playing undead warrior, arms PvP. His name was G-Force. And since I was Alliance, I was like, man, I want to be an undead warrior. You guys can blame G-Force. I don't think he plays anymore. You guys can blame him. Ouch, Max. You guys are just digging in today. Man. A holy pally when our heals also apply to bubble. Yeah, you're talking about what was it called? Like sacred. Yeah, man, I know what you're talking about. It was the 30-second buff that would give a bubble like every 6 seconds or something. I wasn't a one-shot, I have to leave. If I only stuck around with groups that only did one-shots, I would never be able to get any footage for you guys. Ever. It's going good, Luis. It's going good, man. Welcome to the live stream. It comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of love, alright? You dumb undead warrior. I get it. You don't understand it. You're undead. Your brain's a little damaged. We know. It's fine. Oh, here it is. Get some food buff. We got it this time. Look at this. Got a food buff and everything. Got a nice little feast going. Oh, somebody send nom nom. Never mind. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, 40% isn't shabby with the first pull at all. Wordy, you remember him? Yeah, G-Force was really good. The thing is, though, about G-Force, he was actually a Draenei warrior, but he would play with that one add-on to let you switch models. So he'd always play as an undead, but he was actually a Draenei. But with him, that was when I really, really wanted to play Undead Warriors. Am I not flashed in Heroic? This isn't Heroic. It's not Heroic. Heroic Kill Jaden would be just completely destroying everyone here. There to be pools of fire everywhere. There would be ads spawning all over the place every like 10 seconds. Yeah, no, this is not heroic. The food buff is only going to work to make me die slower. Oh man, you guys need some positivity. You guys need to make it happen. The first week when I was getting all the footage for you guys for the boss guides, that first week of Tomb of Sargeras, or the first week whenever any new raid comes out is so bad. Like I went through, who was it? Maiden, I had so many wipes in, and then Kill Jaden took me, I want to say, 2 different days of trying for hours to get that footage because I just couldn't find a group that could do it. And then since this time around, I got footage for you guys that was range DPS and tanking, so I could show you guys both perspectives and how things look from both ways. It took that much longer. Sacred shielding, yes. There you go. Milton, I'm glad you switched over. I'm glad you switched over to warriors. Although I'll tell you what, in Nighthold, paladins were probably in a better spot because they have the utility. So warriors have really good mobility, but in Nighthold there wasn't that many fights that needed a lot of mobility. My eye level, Tyler, 914. 914 on my balance druid. And Wordy, I completely agree. And are we getting more people? Is that what we're doing? 239? We should be fine. As long as everybody's on it. Extremely pessimistic retired Marine. I can see that, Max. Not as bad as Overwatch. Yeah, no, if you guys want a really bad toxic community, I used to play a lot of Dota. The Dota 2 community is notorious for being toxic. So the Dota 2 community, it really is bad. Oh, flopping, really? All of the ex-military people here are just pessimistic on everyone. Like, alright, listen up. You get one shot at Kill Jaden. If you guys can't get this down, if you guys can't get your shit together, I'm walking out of here. That's it. This is ridiculous. Yeah, Luis, I'm still running Devastator. Even on normal Kill Jaden now. Now that I got normal Kill Jaden down and I know when to use certain abilities, Devastator's more than enough. So we'll be fine. Are we looking for someone else? We are. So if you guys want to join in, we need some DPSers, we need some soakers. League is worse than Dota? Really? Man. All MOBAs are toxic? Yeah, I played League for a little bit. The only other MOBA I really tried was Heroes of Newerth. So Han was also really fun, but Han was very much about just trolling your opponents. It wasn't so much about cursing them out or just telling them, you know, to go kill themselves, but Han was very trolly. Like when you would kill someone, the thing to do was to drop your boots on top of them and then pick it back up. So every MOBA that I've known is just really toxic in that point. One-man army over here. Carry you in what? And what are we talking about anymore? League, Dota, Han. Oh, you guys are talking to Max. You would go Druid if I carry you. 887. Ouch. It's not too bad to carry people to decent gear anymore. You can just about carry in Mythic Pluses. Like I know my tank can probably do like a Mythic plus 4 solo, so you bring in some healers, you bring in some DPSers. Something like a Mythic plus 8 is just gonna be relatively easy. So it's not too bad to gear people up. Just run Mythic pluses, run the Rule Tour, and then you can even do normal heroic Nighthold. Physically carry him, help him up the stairs. I don't know, Ninja. I don't know. Brittany, you're gonna come Horde? Oh wait, you do have a Horde character on the Ripkey guild. Is that who you're talking about? Oh no, Ninja. Ninja, my bones work perfectly fine. I don't think we're finding any more DPSers. I think we should just give it a shot. Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. Glad we're gonna jump in. See how this goes. Oh, that's your paladin level 2. That's what you're gearing up? A paladin on Horde? Yeah, I don't. You know, I see it as a joke too. When Tomb dropped, the day that Tomb dropped, here I was. I'm like, let me join some groups, let me hop in there, and there was people that were like, need AOTC, and I understand making the joke, but these people just sat in queue waiting for AOTC for hours. Like I would join different groups, try to get different footage, and these people were still there just waiting on like need AOTC. Your monk hit 110 on Monday. Yeah, you should be able to gear up pretty quickly. You come Horde, we'll gear you up. We'll run some Mythic Pluses. Yeah, probably LFR. That'd be pretty interesting. Just Deceiver's Fall, like you just need. Uh-oh. What are they talking about? What is this oil that they're talking about? Alright. They were talking to someone in Raid. Yeah, those Mythic Plus groups that ask for like ridiculous things, I don't understand. It's like you need item level 900 to do this Mythic 5. It's like why? I don't understand why I would be doing a Mythic plus 5 as a 900 item level. Like when I first got my Druid, it was like I don't have any gear. That's why I'm doing this. Now that Keystones don't deplete, it's a little bit better. But before, when Keystones did deplete, yeah, it was getting a little ridiculous. Although I still don't understand why people aim for the 3-shot chest timer if you're running like a +6 or a +7, something like that. I guess people want to upgrade their keys a lot faster, which that's the only argument I can think of, that people just want to upgrade their keys faster. So when this Rupturing Singularity goes out, don't stand right underneath it. You want to stand close to it so that you don't get knocked off the platform, but not right under it. If you stand right under it, right in the purple stuff, you will get just 1 shot. Go down. Alright, so I'm going to take this next Armageddon. Let's see. Alright, let's just go ahead and take this one. And hopefully nobody jumps out. Alright, we're good. So again, right now I'm going to build up my Astral Power. On my Warrior, I try to hang out very close to Kill Jaden to build up my Rage, try to get a Shield Slam off, but if not, just keep spamming Thunderclaps right now. You're in combat and you're staying in combat, so you might as well just start spamming your Thunderclaps to build up that Rage. So again, I don't want to soak up another Armageddon right now because I already do have the debuff on myself. So that went along a lot better than last time. We'll see if this keeps up. So I'll go ahead and run over to the corner with that. Alright. And all of that Astral Power is real nice. Just jumping right back into it. And again, if you do have this debuff that makes you really big, just stack up on the boss. And these ads do get priority. Like, these ads have to be DPS down as quickly as you can. Like on heroic version, I would even suggest maybe even specking for your AoE or cleave spec, just because of how many of those ads come out. Like, those ads are out during all of the phases. Hopefully nobody moves out. Alright, nobody moved out. I was afraid someone was gonna move out. Once you get to that after the first intermission area, people do start moving out because the Dread Flame kind of stacks up with Armageddon sometimes. So there's the other Rupturing Singularity. It's behind me. It's gonna be, you know, back here. It's not really gonna affect me much. Here it is. We're gonna have Fell Claws up, so you don't want to be standing in front. Armageddon is gonna be happening very soon, and I can't soak it anymore. Itachi, thank you for the sub. I hope you're enjoying the content. So somebody didn't soak up one of those guys. I'll go ahead and help with the healing a little bit here. Alright, so here it is. We're going to have ads again. I'm going to go ahead and just soak one of these Armageddons. Since my debuff is gone, we are going to have a lot of these ads come up. Oh no, we didn't soak another one of those. Those Armageddons are really going to be the death of us. Yep. So we'll go ahead and just try to find another group. Link KSM for +3. That's how it feels like sometimes. It really does feel that way sometimes. Alright, we got a B-res, so let's jump back into it, see how this goes. If we can't get this down, we'll just try to find a new group. No use in sticking around. I want to show you guys more boss fights, specifically more heroic boss fights too. That's something I really wanted to show you guys. I don't have the boss guides up for heroic, but something like heroic Harjatan is exactly the same heroic as he is in normal, just does more damage. So, oh, here we go. Immediately found Illidan, so that's good. So what you want to do is keep this debuff on you, and when this debuff is about to wear off, you do want to run back into this green pool on the ground and pick up the debuff again. So once your debuff is at about 3 to 4 seconds, start running back. Oh, here we go. So this Darkness of 1,000 Souls is going to do a lot of damage. Try to get some mitigation up. I'm going to go ahead and just use Bark Skin on myself. So that's a lot of damage out on everyone. We're going to have Fell Claws up immediately, so don't stand in front of the boss. And then after that, we're going to start playing the Rift game. Not actual Rift. Not the MMO. So you guys do see this obelisk here. According to where those edges are, you guys see the points there. That's where it'll explode and actually shoot out like flames. So you don't want to stand in line of any of that. You guys saw that. So don't stand in line with any of those like corners that it has. So if you guys see where those obelisks are, kind of move out of the range of those. And then for this rift is only going to be used for when he's casting Darkness of 1,000 Souls. So if he's not casting that, we don't need to jump in. So there's one of the obelisks right here. So the obelisk is going to explode before we even get a chance to do anything else. So I do want to stand right around here so that none of the obelisks hit me. Perfect, I avoided both of those. So now that he's going to start casting... Alright, so now with this Dread Flame, again, move away from him so people can stand in between you guys. Darkness is going to be cast right now. What I want to do is stand on the edge of this green circle when Darkness finishes being cast. So I'm slowly moving in, and now that he's about to finish his cast, I'm going to run in, be in there when he finishes his cast. He just finished it, now I can jump out. And that's all of phase 3. So be very careful with those Fell Claws. They do still go out and they do a ton of damage. So just be careful of that. And for this phase, in normal mode, there's no reason for you to stack up. You don't need to, since there are no more adds. So we do have one obelisk over here and then 2 over to my left. So if I stand right where I'm at right now, I won't get hit by any of them. Perfect. So they do a lot of damage, and they also knock you back. So the big danger with those obelisks is that they knock you off of the platform, which has happened to me before. So keep that in mind. So we did get more obelisks. I don't see the third one. Oh, I see them. Okay, so we're good here. The obelisk lasers are going to go out in 5 seconds, so I'll run past this one, and I'll stay on this side of it. And there it is. Alright, so also remember to just keep helping your team split that damage. And now that the Darkness is going to be cast, I do want to be very close here. So there it is, the cast is almost over, and I'll just get dragged in. Alright, and then we should be good to go here. The Fell Claws is kind of like just jumping around everywhere. Also, as a tank, be careful when you pop your defensive cooldowns, because in the middle of Fell Claws, he can't actually stop and start casting something else. So be careful with that. Alright, so we're going to dodge these obelisks. And there is a Berserk timer, but one of the other things that kind of is a soft Berserk timer here is the fact that he just starts spawning more and more obelisks. So there's a Berserk timer. We did hit the Berserk timer, and he just goes around one-shotting people. It's a 1% wipe. We'll stay with this group. It's a 1% wipe. The fact that there was 3 people that died kind of early on, that was a big one. That 1%. That was close. That was really close. What's up, Glocks? Welcome to the live stream, man. Rip raid day. That's not too bad. If we get this on the 3rd kill, it's not too bad for a pug. And yes, this is just normal. Blame the hunter. Yeah, that's an easy. There was, I want to say during that fight there was 3 total Armageddons that weren't tanked. Yeah, that was really close. Oh, Brittany, you're the. I like how the traps in Tomb just tell everyone who did it. I like how the traps are like, hey, you know, this person set off the trap. It's a very easy way of knowing who exactly did it. Enrage at 1%. Yeah, man, you did call it. That was too close. It's because I'm terrible. Thanks. Why am I putting it on the BOOMKIN? I put out a survey. Last week on what people wanted to see during the live stream, and BOOMKIN got the most votes. Next week I'll be back to my tank. Change this music. Is it just this whole album? Alright, we're good with that. Not tanking 3 arms and getting to 1% is impressive. Oh man. Yeah, the fact that 3 people were dead and we still got to 1%. Like we have more than enough deeps for this. You G-kicked someone who just didn't take the Armageddon? And just like, okay, you know what? We forgot to mention this was still part of your interview process. Thank you for transferring. Thank you for realm transferring and paying for all those services, but you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Oh. Come on, we can make it. Yes. Nope, throws you right back onto the platform. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this. Somebody ninja pulling and wiping the raid. I thought you could run back. I mean, I made the jump. Why, Blizz? We'll find another group. Oh, someone who did a trap and wiped you. Man, that's harsh. That's a harsh boot critique. Alright, so we'll find another group. Try to get some heroic done or something. We'll see what else we can find. Let's see if there's any heroic groups. They are on... These guys are at Mistress. That can be a tough one. They're on Maiden. I mean, we'll give Maiden a shot. Sisters. I think that group is really big. 21. This one's at Heroic Sisters as well, and then we'll just start queuing up for some normal. Yeah, that group, that last group was getting it close, but this whole, yeah, ninja pulling, not a good sign. Absolutely, Tyler. Tyler, I'll tank in a little bit. People did want to see the Boomy, so I'm jumping in here with the Boomy first. If you guys aren't following me on social media, if you have Twitter, Blair Book, thank you for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the content. So if you guys aren't following me on social media, last week I mentioned it during the live stream that I would be putting out a poll to what you guys wanted to see on the live stream. So I did put out that poll, and the large majority of people voted for me doing BOOMKIN. So sometimes from time to time I'll do that where I'll ask you guys what you guys want to see on the live stream. If you guys want to see me do raiding content again or bring back the Mythic Plus content. So I'll be doing those polls more frequently. So if you guys want to go ahead and participate in those polls, you guys can just follow me on Twitter. The bone guy doesn't spawn. Oh yeah, for host for sure. It's just a GPS race. Fast and easy 2412. Let's give it a shot. Tyler, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the content. At Sisters, anytime I can jump in. All right, so that's a brand new normal. So I haven't done any bosses on normal. So let's jump in and start doing this. We can tell how normal is gonna go by the first few bosses. So we'll see. Dropping moons as good as Hobie. His main used to be Boomkin. I didn't know that. So he's just going from one elemental caster to another. Flopping, low-key the best community and low-key talks the most smack. But you guys mostly gang up together and just talk smack to me. I don't think you guys don't really fight amongst yourselves, except for Brittany and Pac-Man. They're just swinging hammers at each other. Large majority. I meant the large majority of voters. So, the people who did participate in the poll. You voted for Carry My Shaman? Pac-Man, I think Pac-Man is in a permanent ban at this point from Brittany. So this trash is really funny too because it runs so slow, it doesn't do that much damage. And actually, if you don't get in melee of it, it doesn't do any damage. So as a tank, you can even solo this trash as long as you're careful when you run in and how you use your ignore pain. Brittany has an alert system that whenever Pac-Man joins the chat, it just automatically bans him. It notifies her and just says, you know, you want to ban him? Every time it's a hard yes. Alright, so we'll give this group a shot, starting off with some normal TOS, just starting from the beginning. Alright, let's hope this isn't as bad as the heroic one we did today. That heroic one was pretty damn close. Too close for comfort. Yeah, absolutely, Tyler. Yeah, no problem. I try to explain the fights as I go along with them too. So again, for tanking Goroth, you want to tank him somewhere near this outer edge of this circle. As far as where in the room you can tank him where he is. You can tank him near the beginning here. You can tank him in any other place as long as it's kind of like on the edge of the circle, so that ranged and healers are going to be standing on the inside here. They're going to be standing on the inside of the circle, DPSing out whichever direction. And for ranged and healers, the easy thing is when something spawns underneath you, move out of the way. When Goroth is casting Infernal Burning, move behind a pillar. And when the arrow is pointing at you and focused on you, make sure you also run behind 1 or 2 pillars. 1 is fine in normal mode. the damage isn't too high, but if you can do 2, then just do 2. And also, if you have the debuff underneath you that is throwing a green ring, get away from any pillars. If you're near any pillars, you will break them. For tanks, you just tank swap on the debuff called Molten Armor. So that Molten Armor throws a ring underneath you, the other tank taunts off, you run out to the edge, and then after you explode, you have another debuff that increases the damage you take by 300%, I believe, or I think normal mode might be 100% and heroic is 300, but either way it increases the damage you take by a lot, so you don't want to be in there, you don't want to be actively tanking. And as a tank, you do also have to hide behind the pillars for Infernal Burning. So there we go, that's something that spawned underneath me. Have to jump out of that. You don't want that to hit you. It doesn't do a ton of damage. You see that big green circle? He broke both of those pillars. That's exactly what you don't want to do. So if you have that green circle debuff, you want to run away from all the pillars. Don't run near them. So if you have this guy right here, that arrow, that's what you do. You hide behind a pillar, and that's how you diminish the damage that it does to you. So there's the tank debuff, and after that, you let me see if I can focus one of the tanks to show you guys. So this tank doesn't have it yet. So there was a tanking debuff. Let me click it. Where is the tank? So that tank has melted armor, increased damage taken by 100. As soon as this falls off, the other tank will have the other debuff. The other tank will need to taunt off. And that's the only thing for tanks, really. And also just make sure you hide behind for Infernal Burning. So this star is going to hurt a lot, because that's just going to hit... Oh, he managed to get behind one pillar. So if he doesn't get behind one pillar, that meteor blows up for a ton of damage and hits the raid for a lot of damage. So that's the danger that you run into with those guys. So these guys should run out, hopefully, and not destroy all the pillars. So once you start getting into Mythic version is when you want to destroy the pillars, but in normal Heroic, there's absolutely no need to. So once his energy bar is full, like with my weak aura here that I'm going to be releasing soon, when the bar is blinking, hide behind the pillar. Pac-Man was in here earlier, yeah. He did say he was going to go cook and make some food, so I think maybe he just ran out to do that. He mentioned it to me before the start of the raid that he was going to get some food. Alright, so we're doing pretty good on this attempt. At least nobody has died yet. People are breaking the pillars, which is not the way things should go, but it could be a lot worse. One other thing to note is that if you can, kind of space out a little bit, because if you drop all the pillars like this, they do actually block your movement. So if you drop them all in a line, all of melee and all of your tanks are going to have to run that much further to get behind the pillar. So yeah, this boss should be going down relatively quickly. That wasn't too bad. So I hope they run away. So there it is. I'm gonna hide behind these pillars and mitigate that damage. I try to only take out one pillar at a time since the damage isn't that bad, and since I am rocking Pridas, it doesn't hit me that bad either. Alright. Where are we going? Demonic Inquisition next. I don't need anything from this boss, so I won't be using my extra rolls. My extra rolls are only for sisters. He said Waka Waka. Uh, Ninja, you're a fan of the Muppets? Oh no! For this trash guy, Rez, face him away from the raid, just because he does do that giant frontal cone ability that just one-shots people. But for the weak auras, one thing I'm having trouble with is the fact that there's a distinguishing thing that you can do to track different energies, and it's typing in boss 1 and boss 2, and it seems that every time I walk into this fight, Belak and Atrigan switch what boss they are. So I might have Belak as boss 1, and then the next time I run in here, Atrigan is boss 1. So I don't understand who's boss 1 and boss 2. So one of the biggest holdups of me releasing my weak auras to you guys has been this fight, because every time I walk in here they change. So I have to keep changing my weak auras themselves. So I might not be able to have that weak aura tracker that I want to have, the energy tracker, or if I do it, I have to be unlabeled. Just because every time I put a label on it, it has to switch. Alright, so again, during this fight, for everyone, if Belak is casting Fell Squall, which happens at 100 energy, do not touch Belak. If Atrigan is casting Bonesaw, which happens at 100 energy, do not touch Atrigan. So when these two guys hit 100 energy, you want to stop hitting them. You also want to get the hell away from them. Belak throws a small AoE around him called Fell Squall that you don't want to be in, and Atrigan starts throwing out Bonesaw, which is like a Blade Storm, and you don't want to be anywhere near that. It has a really big AoE, a lot bigger than it seems at first, so be very careful. As a tank, if you are tanking this fight, Atrigan does cast that Fell Scythe. When he casts that, that's a really big physical damage hit, so what you want to do is actually pop your active mitigation at that exact moment when that's gonna land. If you are getting hit still way too hard by that, if you're a little under geared, you want to pop one of your smaller cooldowns, maybe an absorption trinket or something. If you're a Prout warrior, you might want to pick up anger management and use demoralizing shout. So also, if you guys get this AoE around you, run away from everyone else. Uh-oh, why am I tanking? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I should not be tanking. Both of the tanks are in the Spirit Realm area. This is not good. I'm going to take a side sweep as a DPSer. Look at that. Alright, so when he's at 100 energy like this with Bonesaw, you do want to kite him along this edge of the room. And this is a huge AoE. You see how this tank keeps hitting him? You don't want to do that. Every time you hit Atrigan, when he's casting Bonesaw, you get a ton of torment, and once you hit max torment, you just are gonna start taking insane amounts of damage. So if you're a tank, you want to prevent getting max torment as much as possible. If your torment gets above 70%, tell your other tank to taunt off of you and run into the other realm yourself. So there's Fell Squall on Belak. I want to stop attacking him. Hopefully, I don't have to tank Atrigan again. It's not fun as a Boomkin. At least Boomkins are sturdy. You get a lot of armor, but I did have to go bear form for that. That was a little ridiculous. So Atrigan is about to get to max energy, so I'm going to swap DPS again. And you guys can see that Bonesaw in the back there. And you do want to keep him in this right-hand area. Alright, well, my torment is getting very high. I'm about to jump in there.
So in here, you have one ad. You don't need a tank actively tanking this one ad. The only time you might need a little bit of help in here is if there's only a healer in here. But for the most part, every DPS can kind of tank this just fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atrigan again. So there's the side sweep, and again, that side sweep is when you want to use your active mitigation as a tank. Save up. I honestly suggest saving up one charge for that side sweep. If you're a prot warrior, oh god, why am I tanking again? Yep, should not be tanking. So I don't think this is gonna go. I don't think they're gonna complete this, but I could be wrong. It's down to 39%, but there's 3 people that are dead, and every time the tanks try to swap, one more person is probably gonna go down. So we'll see how this goes. But now I can kind of explain things a little bit better. So you see that scythe. It's gonna this debuff is just there's a side sweep being cast right now. It's a frontal cone. Face it away from everyone. And as soon as that lands on you, keep your active mitigation up. This is Fell Squall back here. You don't want to stand in it. You don't want to be hitting Belak. If you hit Belak during that, he does a ton of damage. And if you hit, here's the Bone Saw, you want to get the hell away from that. So you see that Demon Hunter running back there, kiting it. I'd probably be moving a little bit further away because he's probably getting hit by it at this point. So yeah, you just want to keep kiting him in this area. And if you're ranged DPS or healer, just stick to the right hand side of the room. And here's another Fell Scythe. You do want to be careful with that damage. Tell their tanks that they suck from you. Dear tanks. They picked it up. Well, actually, no, more people died. I thought they had gotten a little bit better, but no, more people keep dying. There's a priest that's dead right now too. I should tank for them. Snubsy, you've missed a lot of bad stuff this fight. You missed me tanking this fight basically on my Boomkin. That was fun. So we'll wait. Normally when this happens, you'll get a few kicks, you'll get a little bit of the group kind of reforming. So I don't like to run into the room for those ninja pulls. This last one in Kill Jaden, I didn't think that guy was gonna ninja pull. That guy had been in that group since the beginning, but I guess he just got a little upset. So I'll just wait out here till the group kind of reforms. What was that paladin's name? Is he running in there? Alright, so I think we're okay. The paladin that was messing up. Oh, there's someone who isn't part of the group. Chicken tank is best tank. Back in the day, you could kind of boomkin tank. I don't think that's a thing anymore. It's hard to watch bad tanking. It wasn't even like bad tanking. There just wasn't a tank. Just the other tank decided to jump in with the other one at the same time. Like it was just an absence of tanks. There was no tanks. It was a little upsetting. The LFR was pretty great. 4 new pieces, wow. Yeah, yesterday I did. If you guys haven't done LFR, by the way, there's 2 wings open now, and I did them yesterday, and I also got 2 new pieces. I got my best in slot trinket. It's a little low on item level, but it still increased my DPS, and I got my last piece for the 4 set. So if you guys haven't done any LFR, I do suggest doing it because it's pretty good getting the new tier. Just because the old tier did get nerfed, so the new tier is just that much better. Oh man. Pool party in the pit of torment. Alright, so this should hopefully go better with this new tank. If it doesn't, I think that means that I have to swap over to my tank and just start getting this tomb done. Need you to tank. Look, if you guys ever want to jump into the pre-made groups, you guys can. Sometimes I leave it up for you guys, but if you guys want to jump in here, get the invite, that's fine. I don't have access to. I'm not raid leads on this one, so can't invite you guys. You need to resub to WoW. I agree, Snubsy. I agree. I just hope I don't have to tank on my Boomkin anymore. That's all. The next X pack is looking cool though. Or not X pack, the next patch is looking pretty cool. So, one more raid in this expansion. Should be fun. Although I am enjoying Tomb of Sargeras actually. As a tank, I'm enjoying Tomb of Sargeras even more because it's a lot more even. There's a lot less super magic heavy fights, which makes things a lot better. Nighthold was a lot more uneven. In Nighthold, there was just so many tricks that you needed to do the first time around. You needed to use spell reflection at the right time. You needed to stack your ignore pain. I know on like I hated doing Star Augur, and on Star Augur, if I was doing Star Augur, I always wanted to be the second tank so that I can max out and ignore pain before I even started tanking. So it's just, oh man. I'm glad that this tier is a lot better. I think so, Brittany. I think so. Alright, so we should be good to go. 2, 3, 12, that's more than enough. For monks, you only need haste up to 10%. Man. Yeah, I think Prot Warriors just have such a ridiculous high cap. Even on Boomkins, there's certain cutoff points, and one of the more basic cutoff points is 24%. So once you hit 24%, you start hitting diminishing returns, and you can just start stacking mastery at that point. But haste 10% is just it's a gimme. That's one haste trinket basically. Alright, so we should be good to go. We do have a repair bot down, so let's just repair a little bit, jump in here, see how this goes. So, since I'm not on the interrupt rotation, what I do is normally target Atrigan. If I was a melee DPSer with a smaller interrupt, then I would be targeting Belak. But since Atrigan has lower energy in the beginning, I just go ahead and target him. So there it is. Stop DPS on Belak. You guys can see the weak aura right there that says stop. And now we'll jump onto Atrigan full time. Everybody will do it. Oh god, I'm gonna be tanking again. Why? Why am I this? Man! I think I have to jump on my tank so that when I am tanking, I won't go down like this. This is getting ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't be tanking this fight. So yeah, and then even the fact that Atrigan is here, Atrigan should. Oh, there it is again. Side sweep on a pet. That pet is tanking it up. Yeah, there it is. He's gonna start slapping people around now. And Atrigan was even being tanked right here in the middle of the raid. He's gonna start bone sawing right in the middle of the raid. He should be way over here on the right hand. I mean, on the left hand side. Glocks out. Thank you for the sub, man. Yeah, this is not gonna work out. I should not be tanking. I'm gonna try one more group with my Boomkin, and if it doesn't work out, then it's just not working out for Boomkin for us. Not today. I really did get effed, man. That was a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think these tanks know where their taunt is. Yeah, this is not gonna be here anymore. You really should be banhammering them from there. And yeah, I agree that you have a much bigger impact on any group when you're being the tank. So I'll give one more shot. I'll give another shot to my Boomkin here. And if it just doesn't work out, then I'll just swap over. Let's try another Kil'jaeden. Although I already have the best in slot for Kil'jaeden. Normal Maiden here. If we want to see a pug breaker, we should go to Maiden. I know you guys always, when I do a stream where I successfully one-shot everything, you guys always ask me for the rip keys and for the rip raids. So let's let's jump in here, get you guys some more deaths, and then I'll hop over to my tank, and it'll be a lot better. So get your rip raids in now, because when I hop over to my tank, I don't plan on wiping that much. Never mind. I don't want to be in this party. The raid leader just said, all of the hunters, get your DPS above 600k. I don't. No. You should not be doing less than 600k at Kil'jaeden. It's not a thing. Sisters, maybe they'll get another DPSer. I doubt it. They're not gonna jump into a group where people can't clear 600k on Kil'jaeden. That's not. You can't get Kil'jaeden down like that. In fact, I don't think you can get Avatar down like that. And Avatar is the check before you walk into Kil'jaeden. At Maiden, need heals and DPS. How is Maiden the pug killer? Maiden is a pug killer because if you have one bad person messing up, they mess up everybody else. If one person doesn't know what fell and holy is, then that person runs through the whole group. There's no longer going to be a tank being able to take the hammer, or a lot of the DPSers are going to go down and they're going to have to jump out of the way. So you lose a lot of your mitigation and your tanks possibly when you're doing Maiden. What are these guys are on Avatar? Let's see how that goes. Normal mate. All right, let's jump in here. Hunter's auto shot did like 800k. Hey, I thought so too. It's like the days of BC. If you guys played in BC, all you needed was a Beastmaster Hunter, a ranged weapon that was 2.6 second swing speed or auto attack speed, and you needed a 1-button macro that did steady shots on rotation. So you would just steady shot, 1 auto attack, and that was just because steady shot had about that 2.6 second cast speed. So during BC, you just needed to be Beastmaster and have a 1-button rotation. I used to raid with a guy who used to top every single chart, every single DPS chart by just doing his 1-button rotation. Brittany, I'll jump on my tank after this. If this falls through again, then I'll jump on my tank. And I think people took the elevator back up too. This elevator boss takes forever. Also, one thing about these guys, if they get the buff on them, stop attacking them. Because when these defensive countermeasures get the buff, every time you hit them, they hit you back. So you might think like, I'm gonna pop some cooldowns to get these guys down. Well, the harder you hit them, the harder you're gonna hit yourself. So if these guys get the buff, just stop. For the sake of everyone in your raid. For the sake of your healers. Alright, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this trash goes. So there's the buff. Don't touch him. You guys see this? So if you guys hit them for the next 10 seconds, you guys look. All these people are just taking damage from themselves. Alright, there we go. And then we'll have Avatar right now. Alright, so on Avatar, this is a really tank-focused fight. If your tanks mess up some mechanics, then it'll show. It'll really show here. So Maiden needs to be tanked. So these lasers will become active one at a time and in different order, and they'll start empowering Avatar. When he reaches 100 energy, he will force phase 2. But what you want to do is put Maiden in front of the lasers, tank her anywhere on this kind of rail here, and get her to power up. Once she hits 100 energy, you have to DPS her down until she stops casting. If she gets her cast off, she'll one-shot you. So basically, DPS the Avatar until Maiden fills up with energy, then DPS her, and then back to Avatar. Besides that, there's a few other things that happen. There's Shadow Blades, and if a Shadow Blade targets you, you want to run away from everyone in the raid so it doesn't hit everyone. And every now and then there's a cast called like Chaotic I can't remember all these names. Chaotic something, where you drop these patches of fell on the ground. So as soon as that debuff gets handed out, you can run kind of in a circle. And there's 3 patches in normal, 4 patches in heroic. So just kind of dance around those. But the big thing to note here is that when Fallen Avatar gets to 100 energy, he should be, the highest amount he can be is about 45%. That's going to be your maximum threshold that you can be at. If you're below 45% on Fallen Avatar when you go to phase 2, then you'll be good. You'll be able to push phase 2 just fine and get that down. So what you want to do is get Maiden to those lasers as soon as you can as a tank. If you mess up and give Avatar too much energy, then he'll push phase 2 a lot faster. He'll have too much HP. If Maiden is still alive when phase 2 gets pushed out, he'll eat her and just consume the HP, and you'll wipe. You'll go to the hot tub party that someone was talking about. Alright, so we should be good. 239, waiting on the last person to run in here, and we should be good to pull. So yeah, as soon as this last person jumps in, we should be good to go. Repco, thank you for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the content. Look, we even have Sko in here. We're good to go. That's all you need. All you need in a group is Sko. He's a druid and everything. Warriors are dead. We should be good to go too. I think everybody hit the ready check. No, let's get a ready check. Let's do this! The new bear form, yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I like it for a tank. It looks, it's aggressive, it's up in your face, swinging at you. So for a tank class, I like it. I think druids needed a revamp of their forms. The fact that they've added a few new kitty forms over the years, and then this expansion they really did do it good by adding the little neon skins and stuff. I think it's cool. The biggest gripe I have about druids is the fact that they don't necessarily upgrade with the gear that you get. So you get new gear and you can't really tell on your druid because you're still the same bear, same kitty. So I'm glad that they're adding skins that kind of change everything. Even just like the secret hidden skins, like the owlkin for not owlkin, the one for ferals, the one that's like an owl kitty, whatever the hell that is. Like I'm glad that they're adding new skins like that. Alright, the last summon's coming in for the last healer, and then we're good to go. Timbermaw Warrior on roids, yep. And the Timbermaw was really cool. I really did enjoy the Timbermaws back in vanilla. I remember grinding out that rep too. That was not... that took a while. Oh man, there's a tank. Skull left. We don't have Skull anymore. GG, 8 out of 9 mythic. Gone. Gone forever. I agree with you, Milton. If I was a tank, I would have gotten a ready check going. It's taking way too long. Alright, we should be good to go. We're gonna get another tank. One of the DPS. Oh no, there it is. We have 3 healers. Oh, we're getting 4 healers. We're getting heavy on the healing. I don't know if this heavy healing is gonna work. These super long wait groups, I don't know. They really do all seem to it's just not happening. Every now and then, like last week, I get that raid that just one-shots everything, and then the other week, oh man, I think the worst week for me was the week of Nighthold where no bosses got down. Just every single pug I jumped into was just wipe after wipe after wipe. And I remember it started with Crosis and the other tank not taunting off, and just me getting like a ton of stacks. Yeah, some days it's just the way that pugs work out. This is the pug life I'm living. I agree. Just jump in, do what you need to. As soon as we get a summon going, we'll be good to go. But these guys aren't even in yet. Oh, they're in Tomb. They're running in. But our our Warlock is AFK. What's with these groups today? That's it. It's official. I need to make a tank that can also throw out a lockstone. So I can get a tank that can summon, and we'll be good to go. So early in the week? Yeah, it's just... I normally like to get all my content done early in the week because more people, I feel that there's better quality of groups early on in the week. Whenever I try to get groups on like Sunday night or Monday night, they're really bad. Alright, so we should be good. Everybody's here. Let's get this pull going. I agree with you, Floppin. Before I even jumped into Tomb, I had read everything I could. I had tried jumping into the PTR. I had only really seen one boss in the PTR, but you know, just trying to be as good as we can when we jump in. But that's not what the average mentality is, I guess. So again, we're just gonna keep DPSing Fallen Avatar this whole time until Maiden fills up. So we see Maiden's bar right here. I have it on this weak aura, and so she's about halfway. Don't need to do too much about it. When Ruptured Realities does go out, you want to run out to about here. So right where you guys see the lasers where they spawn from, that's about as far as you need to go. There's no need to go any further than that. If you hit the edge of the room, you won't be taking that much less damage, you know. So the damage reduction works best if you're just at about that laser point. So those are the Shadow Blades, and you see that they point at whoever that they're gonna jump to. So if you see that they're pointing like right next to you, they do have kind of a big cleave, a big area. So if you see that they are very close to you, you do want to be careful, and you do want to run out of that way. So now that Maiden is at max HP and casting, we want to take her down and interrupt that cast that she's doing. I don't know if we have the DPS for it. There it is, perfect. So now that we interrupted her, we go back on Avatar. So again, with this Ruptured Realities, kind of run out to where the lasers spawn. You guys can see where the lasers are going to spawn because these things kind of light up on the way there. And then there's the beam. Right now it's empowering Avatar, but you run Maiden in the way, and then she starts taking that. So Maiden is getting high on this one. She's about 80%. So I think she's probably going to start casting later on in this one. So I'm in range. I'm in position for when she starts casting. She's going to start casting right now. So I dot her up, and I just start going in on the DPS. Alright, and there it is. She stopped casting, so we have to swap away from her. You don't want to kill her too soon. If you do, you force phase 2. And right now, if we got phase 2 at 67%, we would not be able to get the boss down. So again, we've gotten a few extra ticks on Avatar of energy that we probably should have avoided, but we might be okay. If we can do enough DPS during phase 1, we will be fine. So yeah, Avatar is getting relatively high. He's at 80. He's in the high 80s. So this is probably not going to end well, but we'll keep trying. So we should be moving Maiden over to this side right now, so that she gets that beam as soon as it comes out. So that's perfect. Oh no, almost. Avatar is at 90. So I'm going to start DPSing Maiden. Maiden needs to go down after this as soon as we can. So since we're DPSing Maiden at this point, she just needs to go down. Because if Avatar pushes that last, and he will. Yep. So this is a wipe. Avatar consumed Maiden, went up to 80 something %. So this is for sure a rip. Could join the hot tub party and just wipe it out. We'll give this another shot with this group. This is the first wipe we try. And after this, I'll just hop on my tank and get this stuff done. No, Matt, I had bad experiences with the first heroic. Haven't even been able to get this boss down on normal, so I haven't jumped back into heroic. If this group wipes up again, I'll just get on my tank and just tank it. I I agree, Sebastian. One of the tanks was missing the placement of Maiden a lot. The chat, what does the chat look like? Somebody said this is the worst I've ever seen. There was a few rips when we got into phase 2 when they ate them. Yeah, there's not much actually. The raid chat isn't that bad. Sometimes it blows up after that. It's a we got this. It's a positive one. So we're getting one summon in here because I do think one of the healers is left. And we should be good to go. If we can just clean up the positioning on the tanks a little bit, we'll be good to go. It's a bad thing. The other tank was Sko, so if we would have had an 8 out of 9 mythic tank in here. It wasn't actually. Alright, so we should be good to go now. We'll give this another shot. If not, it's just today's just not working out. Alright, here we go. Also, if you guys want to know about lusting, you want to lust after the first Unbound Chaos. You get an Unbound Chaos relatively quickly in this fight. You guys see it right there. The best time to lust is right after it, just because you need to have that movement in the very beginning of the fight. It's going to be forced on you, so you want to pop hero right after that. So we do see Maiden being a little bit better now in terms of soaking up the beam. I do want to back up a little bit since I can still reach from back here. Alright, so Maiden is going to go over here to the left next. So I do want to be kind of in position for that DPS. So I'll move on over. Now I'm next to Maiden. Maiden is about to switch over. I'll get my dots up and I'll start DPSing. Alright, and then we swap back over to Avatar, now that Maiden did get interrupted. She gets interrupted after you do a certain amount of damage to her, and that's what you want to do. Just do as much burst as you can when you swap over. So Maiden is a little bit far away, but she's at half energy, so I don't think she'll make it all the way to full. But just in case, I'll move a little bit closer in between casts. And now that this kind of went out, I can move even a little bit closer than that. So I'll pre-dot Maiden just in case, and there it is. Alright, so that Maiden got interrupted. We're good to go. We can go back on Fallen Avatar. Our DPS is getting a little bit better this time. He's at 46% and he's at 60% HP. I'm 46 energy and 60% HP. So our DPS is a little bit better relative to his energy. So we're doing better this time. So again, those Shadow Blades move out of the way so that people don't get hit by them. if you see them kind of aimed at you, just be aware that they have a slightly larger cleave than you would think. So be careful and move out of the way. In normal mode, it's not too bad, it just kind of knocks you back. But in heroic mode, if you get hit by the blade, you drop a puddle of purple on the ground. So Maiden will be hitting max energy when this laser kind of comes out, so I do need to be aware of that. As soon as I see that laser come out is when I need to swap over to Maiden. There it is. And she got moved out of the way. Alright, we should be good to go. Come on. Come on. There it is. Alright, perfect. So Maiden should be able to take one more one more full energy. And after that, Avatar should be low enough. He's already at 50%, so if we bump him down to 45, we'll be good to go. So we'll work on DPSing him a little bit. And you do want to avoid cleaving Maiden as much as you can, because you do want her alive. So she needs to build up to 100 energy right now. So there's a cleansing protocol. Avatar has been pushed down. So now, as soon as we kill this Maiden, we're going to get pushed into phase 2, which is perfectly fine. We do have the DPS for it. Or the damage done for it, is what I meant to say. There it is. So Avatar is at 39%. That's more than enough to be able to push into phase 2. Alright. The only thing to do here is to tank Avatar as far into the corner as you can, and DPSers do have to split the purple mark that gets dropped on people. So I'll show you guys that right now. So you see this purple mark right here? That needs to be split with people. So just run into it, split that damage, and that's really it. Tank the Avatar way off into the corners. On normal mode, if you want to do what this tank did here and drag them into the Fell Flames, you absolutely can. On heroic mode, you can't do that, but on normal you can. On heroic mode, he gets a buff that's determined by how long he's been on the Fell, so be careful with that. But here, it's more than fine. So there's the dark mark again. I'll run in here, split that damage up. And we should be good to go. Since the tanks are maximizing that space by actually pulling him into the Fell, we're actually going to be able to get one extra Ruptured Reality. So it allows you to have a little bit lower DPS and still get the job done. So yeah, as soon as he hits 100 energy, he'll be doing the Ruptured Realities every time in this phase, so you do want to be aware of that. But after the Ruptured Realities, get him into position, and then tank the purple. So here we go. Gonna get another Ruptured Reality. And we're dragging him way into the Fell. I mean, he won't be destroying much of the platform now. Also, one thing to note for range, if you're standing at max range and casting on Fallen Avatar, then the the breaking of the floor won't affect you. So as long as you stay on max range, you can keep DPSing and not have to run away. So that's something to know. You just kind of want to start maximizing your distance a little bit between every single Ruptured Reality. Alright. Got Fallen Avatar. Do we need anything from Fallen Avatar? I don't think so. No, we're good. The bracers would be nice, but I'd rather save my roll for the trinket. So we'll give this a shot. We'll go ahead and jump over to Kill Jaden. See how that goes. Yeah, 45% is about when you want to push it. Honestly, if you're higher than that, you can still make it, but your DPS is, on average, that's the way it works out. On average, most of the kills that I've seen, like when I was looking at logs to show you guys what kind of damage there was, physical or magic, most groups push at about 45%. Oh no, everybody left. Alright, so everybody left that group. That's 5 people that left so far. So we'll hop over to I'll hop over to my tank and get some tanking done. Alright, time for some tanking. You had to pause the stream? No, we got it, man. Yeah, we got it. That was a kill on Avatar. So let's jump into a group with my tank. Let's see if I can find a heroic group. I'll get some tanking done there. On Mistress. That Mistress, I've had such bad experiences with heroic Mistress on Pugs. Alright, so if we can't find any heroics that need, that group's a little low right now. Let's see if I can find anything else. There's not much in the realm of other groups besides the Mistress fight. We'll just jump into normal tomb. Why do I have a level 1 gnome locked? Because I want to level luck. I don't have a gnome. I don't have any alliance on this realm. So I don't have any alliance. So let's do Sisters tanking, Desolate Host tanking. We just saw Avatar. Avatar, I don't think is as special. There it is. So we'll just run over. And am I repaired up? I am repaired up. So my warrior is a little bit more geared. And I'm actually trying out the Leviathan's Hunger trinket. So I did get my Leviathan's Hunger yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't remember. But I'm using Feverish Carapace to tank. And Leviathan's Hunger, I'm trying this out instead of the Dark Moon card. But honestly, the Dark Moon card is going to be a lot stronger in most cases, in the large majority of cases, but I want to see how this works out, so I'm giving this a shot. Everything else is just mostly haste intensive. My haste is finally at 30%, so I'm at that break point that I should be at, and I don't have any new tier. Actually, I do have one new tier. I have this one new tier piece, but if I equip it, I get rid of my old tier, so I don't want to equip this yet until I get one more piece of new tier. So if I get rid of my old two tier piece, I want to get the new 2 tier piece. Sebastian, that's a good strategy actually. Jumping into the fell and having a priest to bring you back, life grip you back. Oh, I'm getting summoned. Alright. Alright. We're good to go. Look at those dead bodies on the floor. Perfect. Oh, man, all these dead bodies on the floor. Mistress is rough even with guild groups. It's a clusterfuck at the end. Yeah. Heroic Mistress. And I think the bad part about Heroic Mistress is the fact that she does three Cobra shots no matter your group size. So I was running with a group the other day and it was 12 of us and it was almost impossible to do Mistress because with 12 people you don't want the tanks to take that debuff. That leaves 10 people, so every Cobra shot is gonna have only 3 people to split it. It's just gonna be something that's just a really big stress. A really big stress on the healers. So this fight is a lot of physical damage. So I won't use Leviathan's Hunger here. Shouldn't be needing it. I'll just swap over to my armor. Ninja. I'm not lying. It was not a gnome. My orc, my bank alt, has the name gnome in it. So what you saw is his name, which has gnome in the name, but it is an orc. It's actually a rogue as well. So that's my bank alt has that. Do I not have more Nightholds here that I could do double tier sets? Well, the thing is, it's harder on Prot Warriors because one of my best in slots is this legendary. So I can't wear a 2-piece and a 4-piece. I have to wear this legendary. This legendary is just very, very, very good. This and my bracers are best in slot, so since I'm wearing gloves, I can't wear tier piece here. This is just a lot better than any tier piece I could have. And I do have a lot of the Nighthold pieces, but they're like 890 and 900, and I have better pieces now. The large majority of my other pieces, like these pants are best in slot at this point, until I get higher item levels. So a lot of the stuff I have is really good. So I'm just rocking the 2-piece. No, my bank alt is an orc that's named Angry Gnome. I think it's Angry Gnome, something like that. Alright, so we're good to go. Everybody got a ready check. I'll get a pull timer going, and we should be. Oh, somebody else got the pull timer. So you can solo tank phases 1 and 2, but I'll tank right along the edge. So I'll start tanking right here, which is very close to the edge, but by the time the edge hits me, I'll probably be at about 8 stacks or so, and then I'll be able to clear my stuff. And actually, so the reason why you can solo tank is if you tank right by where it changes, you can actually just jump in and out and keep actively tanking the whole time. So I do want this boss to be moving, so I'll take it from the other tank. I'll be that guy that fights for aggro. But you can see here I can clear my own stacks and be perfectly fine in terms of tanking. So phases 1 and 2 you can actually solo tank if you want to. So there's the incorporeal shot. Hopefully people stand in the way. Oh, that was a hard-hitting one. Not enough people. There was just too much movement on the guy that had the incorporeal shot there. So again, I'm just going to tank right along this edge so that as soon as melee wants to clear, they can. It'll just be very, very easy for them to clear. And I can also clear my own stacks. And as far as stacks for everyone else, you should be clearing your stacks no matter who you are at about 10. So if you're anywhere above 10, you're probably doing something a little bit wrong and you do want to clear your stacks. In heroic, in normal mode, clearing your stacks doesn't really hurt you that much, so you can clear as often as you want. Also, that debuff is what's really going to be hurting you guys. So I do want to run away from everyone else. If I see anyone else has that debuff on them, that black bubble, I do want to run away from them. Also, if you get targeted by that glaive, just move out of the way. So I do have 10 stacks. You just go ahead and clear them. And during this phase 2, anytime that ad gets summoned, you do want to DPS the ad first. That ad is #1 priority. The ad basically has an enrage timer that every single time they cast something, it gets buffed up. So eventually they'll just one-shot the raid. So here it is. We're going to get another full phase 2 with the absorption bubbles. And actually something that's pretty cool is if you are a prot warrior and you have the healing bracers, as you spend rage and heal yourself, it counts towards the healing of that bubble. So as a prot warrior, you can almost make the bubble fall off yourself if you're getting really good rage. If you have like full rage right before that bubble gets handed out, you can probably get the large majority off of it yourself. Alright, so here's phase 3. In phase 3, we do have the tanking debuff, which you need to swap at every 2 stacks. So you guys see it right here, off to my left. It does a ton of arcane damage. So if you need to know when to use your magic mitigation, it's whenever you get both stacks on yourself. So now I have 2 stacks on me. I hope the other tank taunts off soon. I'm going to save my magic mitigation until the other tank kind of taunts off, so that I know how high my stacks are going to get. But those glaives also that are off in the corner, you do want to dodge them. So my stacks are probably going to get relatively high right now. I'm already at 3, and there is no taunt happening. So I'm going to use my magic mitigator, I'm going to use my spell reflection, and hopefully I get a taunt off soon. Alright, I finally got a taunt off at 4. So what I'm going to do now is just build up rage, try to survive this. It's just a lot of arcane damage that's going off on me. You guys see that? 1 million magic damage being handed out every 2 seconds. So I do want to be careful with that. And since it is arcane damage, I want to keep clearing my stack so that I'm not taking increased arcane damage. So there's a giant glaive. It goes and hits walls and splits up, so dodge that as best as you can. Alright, I'll taunt off the other tank. He had 2 stacks, and now it's time for me to just start stacking up again. Alright, unfortunately we're running out of space here, but if you have to run through anything, run through the arrow volley rather than the silence. So if you run through the lunar strikes, it'll just be a big AoE silence. So there we go. That sister's down. We'll run over to host right now. I don't think I need anything off of sisters. No, sisters is one of the worst ones I can use my coin on my warrior. No, the other tank is not an undead. The other tank is a troll. You need to... You'll be okay, Max. It's a troll. Yeah, I don't know who else, and I don't think there is another undead here. I don't see very many undeads around anymore. Uh-oh, somebody activated the trap. Well, at least we know who it is. Everybody, hug the polymorph bomb. Yeah, now the worst trash ever. Completely agreed. You need someone who knows how to purge or master spell. You need someone who, you need melee that jumps out of Severed Soul so that they can actually get casts off. G-kick, yep. Thanks for the trap, G-kick. best way to mitigate the tentacles phase 1 Helia. The destructor tentacles are all physical, so you can block it. Flopping, if you actually have the new legendary pants, that might be your best bet, because then you get 3 charges of shield block. So if you just have those extra shield block charges, that's going to help you out. Also, if you don't have that, you might want to run Anger Management Booming Voice so that you can have that demoralizing shout up more often, so you can keep using that. But if you really want to block all that, yeah, those legendary pants, I would suggest legendary pants. And if your old Nighthold 2 set is good, like if you have good item level on it, use that. Also, don't forget that Neltharian's Fury is a thing that guarantees crit blocks. So Neltharian's Fury is also really good for lowering physical damage. New Lego pants are crack in Mythic Plus. Yeah, and actually, since you're running Maw of Souls, the 2 Spell Reflect charges are going to work out for the first boss as well. So you can reflect those Dark Slashes. So you might want to look into those if you have them. If you don't have them, then I would suggest running Anger Management and maybe like your legendary belt and gloves, or legendary belt and ring. Just increasing the amount of rage you generate and consume at the same time, so that you can have that demoralizing shout up for the tentacles. The big thing to watch out for, though, on Maw of Souls isn't necessarily the tentacles. Like, the tentacles, they do suck, they can hit kind of hard, but the biggest thing that you have to watch out for is when Helia does the, I forget what it's called, but the cast, where she hits 1/2 of the boat. That's going to one-shot you if you're not careful. So I think that's a little bit more important than keeping any kind of like cheese strategy for the tentacles. Just make sure you run away from the Sever Soul. If you guys have never done this trash before, these Soul Guards cast something called Sever Soul, which silences you for like 8 or 12 seconds or something. It's a small AoE underneath them. You want to run out of that every time, or else you'll just be silenced. And also they get this, which reduces damage taken, and you want to be able to purge that. So any way you can get that off, go ahead and do that. So there's a Sever Soul. 8 seconds. And that's 8 seconds of not being able to cast anything. Not Ignore Pain, Shield Slam, nothing. Enough coins to get me to transfer to Alliance? Man. I don't know how many coins that is. Max is saving up. Max is saving up. He knows that I've mentioned starting up a raffle or something. He's saving up for that. Yeah, I'm still working on getting some things for raffling off. So hopefully nobody pulls anything on the way here. If they do, I'm just gonna wait right here just in case. So we'll run over to Desolate Host next. I have tanked both the Corporal and the Dead side, so whatever is more comfortable for the other tank, we'll just be doing that. So you can skip a little bit of trash by running this way. Alright, there's the Soul Cage armor. Oh no. They got stuck to... I don't know what that caster is there. But one of the casters got a little too close. You don't want to hug anyone when you have that AoE around you. That AoE is going to bump you over to the spirit world. And if you bump a tank, then there's going to be no one to... there it is. Bump a tank. So now I can increase my damage by picking up one of these orbs. but I can't be tanking anymore. So people in the live world might be getting slapped around. This might be a wipe. It's just too much stuff. It just all got pulled at once, and it really shouldn't have. And it's already that trash that's really annoying. So it's silencing me. They're taking a lot less damage, and there's a ton of them. I'm about to get bumped into the spirit realm, so there's just all sorts of bad things. I think the tank is probably in here. Yeah, the other tank is in the spirit realm, so not very good. Oh no, Brittany, you're starting to bet. Alright, let's pick up threat again, even though I'm about to go into the spirit realm again. Alright, let me just go ahead and pick up another one of these DPS orbs, run back over, and try to pick up threat again. This trash is terrible. Oh no. Oh no. This is it. Alright, we're good. We're good. We're back in business. I thought that was going to be a wipe for us. Alright, got bumped back out of that. This trash is just really... I think this trash is definitely worse than Botanist trash. What can you do with coins right now? I'm just kind of letting it keep tracking, but what I'm gonna do is gonna start doing auctions at the end of streams. So if you guys were here for the stream, you guys will get to place your bets on an auction. I've been asking for the past few streams what you guys want to see, if you guys are into any kind of old school battle pets, because I have some older ones. I do some transmog runs, like I've gotten a few of the Black Temple ones. So I don't know if you guys are interested in that, or transmog items, or what you guys would be interested in, because I can't do something like a WoW token every single time I do a live stream, but I can do a few other smaller things, and then have a bigger event towards maybe the end of the month where I do the WoW token one. Coins are for bribing me. That'll work too. You want a chromatic sword? That's it? Just a chromatic sword? Just arguably one of the rarest items in the game. It doesn't exist anymore. That sword does look really cool though. I used to have a few items that don't exist in the game anymore. A few kind of discontinued items. As soon as Legion launched, I sold them. So I don't have those anymore. Like I had the some of the BOE pieces from the dungeon sets from back in vanilla. I had a few of those. Maybe about 4 or 5 pieces. Nothing too major. Two hate spark the tinies. Damn. So we'll see. The other tank wants to be corporal, so I'll be in the underworld. So I'll come down here. Basically what happens here is these small ads need to be taken down. They don't have an aggro loot table, so these soul residues kind of bounce around everywhere. DPS takes them down. I'm going to stack the priestesses on the soul queen. You can interrupt the priestesses whenever possible, so go ahead and toss out interrupts whenever you can. And that's really it. Just stack the ads, cleave them down, take down the soul queen, take down the rest of the ads. when you're soul bound to someone, you do want to run over to them. So a connection of fire will be made between you and the other person. You probably want to meet right around the middle, and the undead world is over here on the left, and the corporal world has to be over on the right. So there's not enough people on the undead world, so hopefully we'll get some more people here. Problem about transmog people need to be horde and your realm. That's true. That's true. Alright, so now we have enough people into the spirit realm. That's about a nice half and half split. So what we're gonna do is take out the residues first, and that's all about that's all about the DPSers. And besides the residues, I'm just gonna tank everybody else on top of the Soul Queen. We'll see how this goes. A trial 100? Yeah, I don't know if you can swap with the trial 100. Alright, so we'll run in there. I'll go ahead and just start cleaving everybody, pick them up. And during this phase, it's a lot of magic damage in the spirit realm. So as a tank, if you want to start mitigating some of the magic damage, you can. If not, then just interrupt whenever you can. So interrupt the priestesses whenever you can, and you can also interrupt the crushed mind. But it's not necessary. You should be okay. The amount of magic damage that you take should be survivable. So now at this point, we're just going to cleave the priestesses. We have one residue up. Actually, we have two residues up, so those residues should be taken down. I don't know why they're still up. They can be snared, they can be stunned, so whatever you guys can do. This Shattering Scream, I'm just going to go ahead and interrupt one of them, because it does do a small AoE, so I don't want to take more damage than I have to. So I'll interrupt whenever I can. Some of that damage can get a little bit high, so I'm just going to go ahead and focus this priestess down, and there, we're good to go. During this Wailing Soul cast, it's a ton of magic damage that gets handed out. If you're a DPS in the Spirit Realm, if you're a DPS in the Spirit Realm, during this Wailing Souls, you can actually run out, go click the font again, and go to the Corporal World to do DPS there. Since it's a shared HP pool, it's not that big of a matter. But when Wailing Souls is over, you should run back in. So right after the Wailing Souls, we are going to have ads come up again. So you guys see all the ads come up. I do want to get the priestesses back to me. And I can walk away from the Soul Queen a little bit since she does do casting anyway. It's not going to be the most groundbreaking thing. Let me just get this priestess over here. The other priestess is still bouncing around everywhere. So as soon as she's done casting, hopefully she runs over here. Alright, I do want to keep generating my rage because of all this magic damage. it does do a lot of damage over time. As a prot warrior, you're probably better off in the corporal world, but you should be able to do the job in both. Also, you guys are seeing this purple stuff being dropped on our side here. That stuff is actually from the corporal world. So if you guys are in the corporal world and you get targeted by tormenting cries, make sure you drop it on your side, because even though it doesn't seem like much, because what you're going to be seeing is diminished, if you're dropping it on the spirit world, then we're not going to have anywhere to stand. So this whole fight is about managing both worlds and both people kind of adjusting to each other. One thing that you can do is actually go behind the Desolate Host and dropping the tormented cries in that direction. So if you do have the time to run over there, I really suggest you run the tormenting cries kind of in this corner or past him, so that it has a very minimal impact on everyone. And there's no time where having tormented cries is a good thing, not in normal and not in heroic. So make sure your placement of that is as good as possible. That's going to determine a lot. So once you push down to 40%, I believe, I can't remember if it's 30 or 40%, that's when the new ad will come up, the new mini boss, and that mini boss needs to be tanked with everybody. So he's going to do 2 different casts, and depending on the realm that you're in, it will change the way that you see the cast. So if it's full in the bottom, you want to run away from it, and if it's empty in the bottom, you want to run into it and split the damage. Alright, so I'm just going to keep interrupting the shattering screams as much as I can, and these tormented cries keep being dropped on us. It's not giving us a lot of room to work with, but we should be okay. And again, another tormented cries. As long as the tormented cries doesn't get dropped right on the boss, but it's still really, really bad placement. So there's the Wailing Souls. Right after this, again, we're going to have more ads. Hopefully we can push down to 40% before this gets done. So it seems like they also have a lot of ads up. Those ads need to be taken down, or 30% rather, sorry. So before this Wailing Souls finishes, I want to get to that 30% breakpoint. So there it is. Perfect. So at this point, I'm going to ignore the Soul Queen. She's just going to keep casting, but the Desolate Host, this ad here, this mini-boss, actually has an enrage timer, where every time he does one of his casts, he's going to deal more and more damage. So you see the swirl underneath him is full. I'm going to run out and not stand in it, and then I'm going to taunt off right after. So then the next one is going to be empty for me. You guys see that? It's empty. That's when I want to run in, and not just me, everybody in my realm. So if it's empty for you, run in. If it's full, run out. Hopefully the taunt off gets a little bit further than this. Oh man. Okay. Didn't get further than that. That's not good. Alright, so I let the other tank know to kind of move him a little bit more. And so there it is. There's a taunt off moving him over a little bit more. It allows us to DPS the Soul Queen while this is going on, where we can't be in there. If we were, we would die. So right after that Sundering Doom, I'm going to taunt him back and stack him back on our boss, and we should be good to go. Alright, here it is. So the main boss is down. Now the Desolate Host needs to go down at this point. So I'll go ahead and taunt off. At this point we can keep the Desolate Host right in the middle, since the main boss is down. Now at this point, everybody doesn't need to have another DPS target, so just kind of swapping over. Every tank needs to taunt off. Again, if that's full, run out, and you guys can see the enrage, so increases damage dealt. Every single cast, that goes up. Here we go. So again, since we're running in on the empty, we do want to split that damage.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, and again, I'll do the taunt off. He's getting more and more empowered, which is why I normally like to DPS this guy down first rather than the other bosses because of the enrage, but the damage isn't too bad right now. Everybody's getting hit for about 40% of their max HP, so we should be good. Here's the kill. Before that goes off, there's a kill. Alright, I don't think I need anything from here either. Actually, the cloak would be kind of nice, but I think that's about it. Yeah, nothing else really needed. I won't use my roll. Alright, so we'll move on. We'll go to Maiden. Fastest way to get to Maiden is to kill yourself. And once you kill yourself, you'll be right at Maiden right here. Actually, I can turn on my quest too. I don't think this quest rewards anything. Alright, so this little mini gauntlet before Maiden, pick your color and stick to it. If you don't, every orb of the wrong color that you take hits you for a little over 1 mil, I think. So this is where you can tell where people are going to fail. Although, if you're a demon hunter, you can cheese all of this and just fly over everything. So, if you're a demon hunter, you got lucky, you can do that. Pac-Man! Hopefully you watch this Pac-Man. See you later. Thank you for caring about my life, Brittany. Burnt out content creators fill up your sub bar. Max, are you watching any burnt out content creators for WoW? I've seen a few people kind of dip off, but then they come back. So every time there's a new patch on the PTR, they come back and then just yeah, so a few content creators, when there's a new patch on the PTR, they come back, PTR hype, and then they just go back. One of the big things, the big reason why I don't cover every single PTR as soon as it hits the PTR is there's just so much content for it. I feel like there's more content about PTR than there is about what's currently out, and I think more people need help clearing normal and heroic tomb than seeing the brand new quest in Argus. So hopefully the content isn't burnt out. Alright, so we're good. I don't think we can pull yet. I don't think there's enough people to pull. Hopefully Maiden will go okay. Maiden can be a pug killer because one bad person can ruin it for everyone. Alright, we have enough people here. Do we have a healer here? Yeah, we have one healer here, which is... no, two healers. Good enough for this first trash pull. Yeah, this first trash pull is relatively easy since you don't have to split the hammers or anything. That druid! Did you guys see what that druid did? Typhoon into his grab. That's pretty cool. That's one way that druids can do a really good interrupt. Yeah, so sometimes looking into the PTR can be kind of fun, but I don't want to flood with only PTR stuff. Just throw away some trash. And once there's a few more people, actually we can go ahead and pull. No! So I do want to split that hammer up with as many people as I can, so I'm dragging it over. There it is. So hopefully some more people stack on me, because that's going to be needed on Maiden as well. Oh man, I killed one of our healers for trying to get them to soak this up with me. Let's turn around to here. There's more people here. Alright. Sebastian, you feel like you're dying when your bags get full? I got really used to carrying a ton of gear back when I used to do a lot of endgame raiding, because I would carry my arm set and my prot set. But even now, like I just carry, like I carry the gear for when you apply to those groups, and it's like, oh, what's in your bag? Oh no, goodbye people, goodbye. Yeah, I think Legion hasn't helped that problem at all by doing the whole thing where it's, you know, certain item level equipped and then certain item level in your bags, and every group is looking for just the highest item level. They don't care about if it's equipped, if it's in your bags. They're just looking for the highest item level. So I carry around a few of those pieces that bump up my item level. It's just the game we're playing right now. I also have a few things that are side grades that I still haven't really gotten the chance to test. Like I have a few relics that are higher item level, but I'm not sure. Like these guys, right? A 905 versus this 905. Like this one's a little bit worse. Where's this one? Armor. I just got that ignore pain one, so this one can be trash now. There's where is it? There's these guys. 915. That's a 15 item level upgrade on a relic, but the use of it is not that good. Again, this goes from ignore pain to revenge. So sometimes I keep this gear because I'm debating using it. I agree, Floppin. I think when Tomb of Sargeras dropped and that same day the 7.3 PTR was live and all I started seeing was content on 7.3, I was just thinking, like, why aren't we clearing Tomb? Why aren't we're not even focusing on this? I think the 7.3 was dropped a little preemptively too. There's just a lot of content revolving that. If it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. If not, you just get rid of it and throw it out. I get it. How much gold do I have at the moment? 620k on this tune. Not too bad. But the thing is, Brittany, if it was a 15 item level bump up on any slot, I'd agree. I would completely agree that the strength and stamina is gonna go up. But since it's a relic, it's 1/3 of my weapon's item level. So yeah, it's a 15 item level bump up, but my weapon's not gonna go up by 15 levels. My weapon isn't gonna become a 940. It's a 925 now. It might become like a 930. So it's an upgrade, but at the end of the day, it's not a flat 15 item level bump up. So that's what kind of makes me want to think about it a little bit more. I think a 2% buff to my ignore pain is a little bit better than 5 item levels on this weapon that has, you know, crit mastery. Sure, it has strength, stamina, it has armor in it too because of the shield, but I just, oh man, giving up that 2% for ignore pain just really hurts. I mean, PTR and LFR can be kept in. PTR is fine as long as they don't do what they did now, which is here's a brand new raid content and all this new content on the PTR. It's like, if I want to see all the new content, I need to play in 2 places. One of them it doesn't matter in because it's gonna get reset. If they just kind of drop things sequentially, so give us Tomb of Sargeras and keep Tomb of Sargeras exclusive for like a month, and then give us a little bit of PTR at that point. Oh yeah, Brittany, if it was a 30 level bump up, yeah, I would throw it in for sure. But also, like, if it was a 15 item level bump up, like, let's say, what's probably my worst? This is probably one of my worst pieces. 905 crit mastery. Now I have 900 shoulders that are a little bit better itemized than this, but since this is a 5 item level bump up with a gem slot that I can throw haste in, it's worth it for me. I think I have 900. See, so I have these shoulders that are 900. They're not that optimized, but I want to say I had like 895s then or something. Maybe I threw them away. These guys, 900, they have 400 haste, but I'm already getting half of that haste with the gem socket that I have in the current one. So while yes, these other ones in my bags are better optimized, they're a little bit lower item level, and the socket kind of makes up for the difference. So sometimes I sacrifice item level if it's a straight up item, but on relics I find it a little bit harder to do just because of that discrepancy, that it's 1/3 of my weapon. LFR should have a minimum and maximum item level, but then there would be no carries in LFR. I don't know, I think maybe it would make LFR a lot more annoying, but what if it had like a little tutorial area that you have to do at least one? Like, hey, you're going to be doing Maiden, so here's 2 patches on the ground, one is Fell and one is Holy. I'm going to give you a buff, you have to run to the right one, or you'll go down. So they just give you a little tutorial, and after you do the tutorial, it's like, cool, walk into the boss. Here's some free 890 gear. Don't worry about it. You deserve it. You were able to pass the first test. So it's just a tiny little basic tutorial. Alright, so I have the bomb, and I do have my debuff counting down here, so as soon as I get to 2, I'll jump down. And I actually got hammered to death. I don't know what happened. So I, for some reason, got aggro before I jumped in and took the hammer by myself, I believe. Yep. I took the Fell hammer by myself. So for some reason, I saw the other tank taunt. That's the weird thing. I saw the other tank taunt, but for some reason, I picked up aggro at the end. But I think a little tutorial level right before LFR would be good for everyone. You just need to do it once. You don't need to do it every time, but you jump in. It's like, cool, you're gonna do, let's see, you're gonna do Goroth. So, you know, this wall is gonna throw out, you know, giant infernal stars at you. You have to hide behind the pillars. I did take that hammer to that face. I don't think I can survive, you know, both of these hit a 2 mil and a 4 mil. It's a lot of damage. And then I was gonna blow up right after this, so that was too much damage. Yeah, not sure what the hell happened there. This is what Pac-Man feels like when you ban him? Jeez. Those are big banhammer hits. That's a little ridiculous, Brittany. The problem in LFR is people know mechanics and they just don't care to do it right because it's LFR. I agree with you. There's a lot of people that just completely ignore mechanics. Like the first time I walked into LFR for Nighthold and I saw someone go up to Scorpiron and just run into the wall and pick up all the scorpions back to back, I was terrified. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Why are they doing it this way? So yeah, LFR has different strategies, but like we can't complain too much because even back in the day when you had 10 and 25 mans, 10 mans had different strategies than the 25 mans. So nowadays you can't really compare between normal and heroic because there's different mechanics. But if all mechanics are the same, people still do different things for different difficulties. So LFR is just that casual difficulty which people can just jump into. You gotta make sure he stays banned. Banhammer serious. No res on Banhammer. Banhammer banishes you to the netherworld, so you just stay there. Yeah, when people AFK in LFR, that's terrible. Alright, so hopefully we pick it up, get people on the right track, get this boss down. I have also gotten this guy, so I'm waiting to throw this chest piece on so I can get another piece of tier, and then when I do, I also have this cloak ready to go. And I forgot to upgrade this guy. This is something that's a very small upgrade, just a socket, but I forgot to do that, so I can get that done. It won't be an item level bump up, but it will be an extra 150 haste. I see your point, Sebastian. There's a few people that I know that are like mythic raiding, and when they jump into LFR, in chat they'll be like, "Let's see if I can get this to be a wipe." So then they just go crazy, they pull, but they're mythic raiders. They're normally on an alt, but they want to see that wipe happen. The biggest thing that LFR lets me do is like when a new tier comes out, like Tomb of Sargeras and Nighthold, when those two came out, when I'm making the weak auras, it lets me just jump in and test one boss. So I just jump in, test the boss, and then I'm good to go. I walk in, test another boss, and I'm good to go. Like the queues are fast, they're simple. I can just get them done a lot easier. So when I'm creating stuff like weak auras, LFR is a lot easier than having to find a brand new group that cleared up to, you know, this boss or that boss. It's a lot easier on me. But besides that, LFR helped me gear up my druid when I first leveled. And that was really about it. I think LFR is a really cool stepping stone, and there's a lot of people that no longer have all their friends that play here, no longer have all their friends that are gaming and raiding. So I think LFR is one of those things that's a little bit necessary, but I think it could be worked on a little bit better. I'm not crazy. I don't like the fact that LFR gear can Titan Forge and Warforge, because I don't think an LFR raider should have a higher item level than someone who's in heroic, like let's say someone who's doing LFR, oh jeez, why is that fell person in there? So I don't think, yeah, that fell person needs to move. So I don't think an LFR raider should ever be better geared than a heroic raider. No matter what the tier, no matter what's happening. I don't think that should ever be a thing. So when I see stuff like that, even though it's the outlier, even though like it doesn't really happen, and that LFR raider had to get very, very lucky, I understand that. I just, yeah, not a fan of that. Alright, so that's a wipe. Here's a Fell Hammer. I mean, it's gonna be a light hammer, and I'm Fell infused, so this is gonna be fun. All right, let's see how this goes when I jump in. All right, so that's a wipe. We'll try one more time with this group. We'll give this group one more shot of Maiden. We can solo Maiden. We can do this. We can do this just fine. And yeah, Sebastian, that one DPSer that refused to move with the Fell Infusion didn't let our melees run back in, and the hammer was only split between me and 2 other people, and of course the 2 other people that don't have tank health pools went down. So yeah, that happens. This is why Maiden is a pug killer. What's up, Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter, you're late. It's almost 3 o'clock for me here. You're jumping in late. And yeah, Brittany, like it's nice when it happens to you, right? It's nice when it's like, ooh, I got an upgrade from LFR. But I think LFR should never be better than someone who's heroic rating. Even if they're just getting lucky, even if it's only like 1% of the people that are rating LFR are better than heroic, I don't think that should happen. I think it should just go in tiers. Like an LFR raider is an introduction to rating. Normal should be right above it, and heroic and mythic and so on. Like, as someone who doesn't really jump into mythic, if I ever became better geared than a mythic raider, who's someone who's been grinding in there, I can understand why they'd be upset. And I would see that it's unfair. When I was in Wrath of the Lich King, doing a lot of endgame tanking and doing heroic 25-man through ICC, there wasn't people that were better geared than me that were doing lesser content, and I think that's the way it should be. You won it back. You can watch it on your phone. Yeah, there's been a few people that have been saying that it was messing up on their mobile. So that's kind of weird. Legendary from LFR. I mean, at this point, that's the world we live in, right? The expansion pack that we live in is the expansion pack that you can get legendaries just about from anywhere. From LFR, from your daily heroic, you can get a legendary. I've seen it happen. There was a guide I made where somebody got a legendary from a daily heroic. So it happens. Legendaries bother me less and less because they're just given out to everyone anyway, and it's just, you just kind of get what you get, and everybody just gets free of those from any content. But yeah, the whole war forging on LFR and on normal and stuff like that, it devalues it devalues heroic rating or mythic rating. You got Legos from boxes. Oh man, I think I saw someone in the video also get one off the Blingtron 6K, which is why I loot it whenever I can. Whenever I log in and there's a Blingtron, I'll go and I'll loot it. But I've never gotten one from it. I mean, if it was up to me, the legendary system wouldn't really exist. It would just be like world BOE epics like back in the day. So it would just be like you have a chance of getting these random epics that have a really cool proc on them. But I used to really like the idea that every expansion had that one legendary, or maybe two. It was mostly two per expansion, and like one expansion tanks would get it, and the other expansion healers would get it. The other expansion raid or range DPS. So I used to really like that idea, the fact that legendaries were actually held value. But now they're just part of the equation, and it is what it is. I would have much rather they've been special BOE epics, kind of like back in the day when you saw someone with what was it called? It wasn't called the wall spell. When you saw someone with the shield that has that skull on it, like you knew they got really lucky, got that or bought it from the auction house, farmed up for it. So there's cool stuff like that. This guy, the Skull Flame Shield. So whenever you saw someone like this, it was like, oh, you know, they're that 1% that was able to get it from just a random world boss or something. So I think BOE epics would have been a better way of doing legendaries, but it is what it is. But something like this would be like, it has a unique look, and it would be like, hey, whenever you take damage, they take fire damage in return. But we live in a world of legendaries now. A quest line? I agree. I remember grinding out the Oldham legendary for our shaman healer back in the day. I remember grinding out the ICC legendary for our Frost DK during ICC and getting him the Shadowmourne. Like, I remember it being just a lot that we had to do for that person. And it could even be done in like normal heroic. So it could even be go and kill Maiden, you know, 10 times for this part. You have to infuse a ton of holy energy into your weapon. So you need her to hit your weapon 10 times. You can do that in LFR, you can do it in normal, you can do it in heroic, but it should be a long quest line. That'll be one of the steps, but it should be a long quest line that gradually works its way up to the legendary. I agree that it should be something that takes a while. I just think the term legendary and using the orange text kind of devalued the old legendaries. I completely agree, Brittany. Like yesterday when I was running simulations on my Boomkin has really bad legendaries. Really bad. If I were to get my 2 best in slot legendaries for my Boomkin, my DPS jumps up by 200,000. 200k DPS increase by getting the 2 best in slot. So running that sim, I was like, this is a little out of hand. If it was a best in slot epic that I could farm somewhere, like, okay, I'm gonna go farm Maiden over and over again until I get those pants, that's fine. But given that it's just random, I'm gonna get like about one a month, and I can't even pick which one it is. I mean, I'm okay with the system how it is now. It is what it is. We live in this expansion pack that has that, but at the end of the day, I would have liked to see a slightly different system, but it's okay. They made those changes to legendaries not that long ago to try to even them all out, and I think it could be done a little bit more as well. Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy good if you do. I mean, I got lucky on this Prot Warrior. My Prot Warrior got the best ones, which are the gloves, first. So I got this first, and then it took me a while to get the bracers, but in the meantime I had other stuff, but just having one best in slot was just such a big difference. Oh, that sucks, Sebastian. Yeah, from, like, given the way I play, with how much I play, I get about 1 a month. That's a good average. Like yesterday, I finally got a 3rd one on my Druid, but my Druid had been starving for one. But I ran all of LFR yesterday on my Druid, and I finally got it on a normal run. Alright, so we have Holy Infusion, so I'll run over to my Holy side and take the first hammer, and then we should see a taunt off. There's the taunt off, and the next hammer comes in 10 seconds. So if I'm part of the instability, I'll run in. Alright, yes I am. So when I'm down to 2 seconds, I'll jump in. So there it is, 2 seconds. Also, make sure you face your back in the direction that you want to jump out. So I face my back towards the boss, so that when I jump out, I can be right on the boss. So your back is the direction that you're going to get thrown. So again, during this phase, tank DPS isn't monumental, so I don't actually pick up any of the orbs. I leave all of that for my ranged and my melee. I can pick them up as a tank, and if we were a little bit more coordinated, then I would. But since it's a random pug, I'm just gonna let the DPS just pick that up. There's a lot of damage going out right now. I think there was 1 or 2 bombs that went off above ground. Also, one other thing is when you guys are jumping into the hole to kind of like blow up your bomb, don't jump in. If you jump, you're gonna get height and you won't actually count as being in the hole. So if you have the bomb and you're gonna go into the hole, just run in. Don't jump at all. Refrain from pressing your spacebar or whatever your jump button is. Just run in, and that way you won't mess up. So there it is, just run in, no jumping, and we're good to go. Also, if you're a warrior, just charge back into position. You get stuck at Harjatan, Prince? I'm sorry, that sucks. Harjatan can be messy with pugs, since they drop puddles everywhere. Are you tanking or are you DPSing? Alright, so once I get down to 2 seconds, I'll jump in. And there's no need for another taunt off, we're going to have the blowback happen right now. Alright, so again, I won't pick up the orbs since DPS get a lot more use out of them than I do. There's one of the DPSers picking up the wrong orb. Oh man, that's a ton of raid-wide damage going out. I mean, hopefully nobody goes down at this point. This is all we need to do. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I don't think Blizzard knew that this boss would be such a pug killer. So I have the light infusion. I'm going to stay exactly where I am. I'm going to taunt off. Okay, I thought that was a little bit of fell energy, but it's just the monk healing with a little bit of green. So here it is. I'm infused. I'm going to have to jump in, and then we're going to get the other hammer shortly. So I'll jump in, get booted out, and I'll go ahead and taunt off. My hammer's coming up in a few seconds. I do have the Fell Infusion, so hopefully I get the taunt off from the other boss, from the other guy. There it is. Perfect, the other guy taunted off. But there is one holy guy in our area, so now there's no people here. Hopefully they jump in. I don't want to take this hammer all by myself. But you guys saw that one melee just lagging behind. So here's the hammer. And hopefully I survive it. I don't know how many other people. Oh, 2 people went down to that. But you guys saw that one melee ruined everything for it. So I don't know if we can get this down anymore. I think we're down to like 7 or 8 people. No, probably 7 people that are still alive. I don't even know if there's enough DPS to break through this. I'll pick up the orbs right now, since there's not enough DPS. So hopefully we can get enough damage done. Alright, we're gonna have another infusion. I'm still on Fell. That means the other tank has to take the hammer first, which is good. He has a lot. He has more people with him. Oh no, he went down. Oh no. Oh no, there it is. It was either that or let everybody else die with me as well. So hopefully there's a little bit of DPS here. Back it was Demonic Inquisition, for now it's Harjatan. That sucks. I'm sorry. Like I notice in Harjatan what gets really rough is the puddles are just being dropped everywhere. So maybe what you want to do is just kind of like take control and tell people to run. One popular pug strategy that I've seen is to run to 4 corners. So you have the room and you have 4 corners. After every single draw in, you let the frost pools go out, and then you run to another corner. So that might be a strategy you want to adopt, running to the corner. Just oh no, a lot of people are leaving just for that. But you can keep swapping corners because it keeps getting messy. This is not on heroic, no, Milton. It's not going well either. Alright, so everybody, this group is kind of falling apart. There's a lot of people just kind of dropping. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it. It is 3 o'clock, so thank you guys for stopping by, and thank you guys for watching my Boomkin and contributing to the Boomkin hate. Thank you guys for stopping by and just keeping the chat going and keeping chat alive and keeping things alive here. Prince of the West, if you ever want any like one-on-one tips, you can message me on social media. I'm on Twitter. You can message me on YouTube if you have any problems in particular. I am bringing out custom weak auras soon, so that should help out. And then I'm also going to be doing a Prot Warrior survival guide and just a general tanking survival guide for everyone for Tomb of Sargeras in this next week, so you guys can expect all of that. So again, thank you guys for stopping by. Today was a little bit rough, but thank you guys for sticking here and sticking with us, watching us Boomkin, watching us tank it up. That sucks, Prince. You get annoyed watching Khadgar, Illidan, and Maeve and Velen do nothing. Yeah, they just kind of stand around. But alright, thank you guys for stopping by. It's been a fun live stream. And again, I live stream every Wednesday. About 3.5 hours ago is when I start. So if you guys want to join in every Wednesday, I also have a Twitch. It's in the description if you guys want to follow me on Twitch. I try to stream there on Thursdays or Fridays. It's been a little busy trying to get all the boss guides out to you guys, but you guys can follow me there. I'm going to start streaming again on Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays or Fridays. So thank you guys again. And as always, good luck out there.